Welcome to the Into the 99 podcast, where we've got 99 cards because Commander is number one. I am your hostess with the mostest, Necrozak, and joined by, as always, Brian, Ryan, Dan, and our special guest for the episode, Hope.
I hope.
The ultimate return of your girl.
Welcome back, Hope.
It's good to be back, boys.
Welcome back. You were sorely missed in your absence.
Yeah, Hope was briefly fired, but
that's just not true. I'm just out there hustling.
The fans just wanted her back so much.
Yeah.
All right. So, my friends, I'm glad we've all got through the new year together. We've grown a lot, but the most important thing is there were so many Magic sets that came out this year, and there was a lot of good cards. So I think it's just appropriate for this episode that we talk about all those cards.
Yeah, we reviewed 2020.
Yeah, 2020 in a nutshell, except we don't talk about anything other than cards.
Also, Happy New Year's, everyone. I hope you guys had some good holidays with people, celebrated some stuff.
Yeah,
made it all the way till midnight. Unlike me, I went to bed like an old man.
Yeah, I was in bed at like 10:30.
I loved having COVID. It was great.
Yeah, Zach had COVID. He's recovered.
He's a survivor.
Let me tell you, people, whatever your stance on masks, just wear them. Having COVID sucked. It sucked so bad.
Yeah, Zach was tired.
Yeah, and he didn't even have it bad.
No energy.
Anyways.
Yeah, no, definitely glad that Zach's not sick and that that everyone, I hope, as well listening, is in good health.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, there were like a bajillion different Magic sets this year, so we want to.
So much product.
Yeah.
That's a great segue.
Shoved down our throats.
Let's start it off by just saying, like, these are the sets that came out. So there was Theros Beyond Death, Ikoria's Commander, M21, Jumpstart, Double Masters, Zendikar, and then Commander Legends.
And the Commander decks with Zendikar and Commander Legends.
Yes, a lot.
Zach, you can count.
Yeah, I went to public school and I have a bachelor's degree.
Nice.
So I can barely count.
So between the two, you'll get there.
I don't think anything wildly amazing came out in the.
I have an abacus.
I guess there was some pretty good, like Anawan was a pretty good commander, like people like that. But I don't think he makes the top commander list.
No.
I was actually
I don't think any of the little ones do.
I was at the LGS today, and there was a lady coming in. She's like, I'm here to look at like commander decks, and so they were kind of taking her through the decks from like all the commander sets from this year, and like they hit the Ikoria Jorina Kudrow or whatever her name is. I was like, that one is the best one. I was like, me personally, that is the best one because it has the two favorite commanders in that one, Trin and Sylvar.
Yep.
Let's quickly.
Oh, don't poo on Trin and Sylvar. You just wish you had a cat nightmare.
He's just pooping on Sylvar.
Let's quickly. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I do have a cat elemental dinosaur thing that's from Ikoria. That's a commander deck that I play on occasion.
That is true.
But is it a snack?
Yes. For the mini decks that came out, first and foremost, I love the practice of these mini decks. They're
they're not mini.
Well, I call them mini because they're just meant to be like they're very basic get into commander. There's only one commander option in them.
They're planeswalker decks, but commander decks.
Introductory level commander decks.
Yeah. I think they're wonderful. They had the two most recent ones. One is Simic Land Matters deck where you get draws in for lands. Wyleth is a really, really cool Boros equipment getting drawn a spell. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a very cool card as well. Zach.
This card is amazing.
What?
People are audio listeners, they can't see.
What card?
Blazing Sunsteel. The equipment from was it Wayland deck?
The Wyleth deck.
Yep.
Yeah, this card is nuts. It goes in my Tonner deck. I just finally was able to pick one up.
It's a very cool card. There's a lot. What were the other mini ones? Anawan was one, and then
Obun.
Obun. Oh, I love Obun.
Doing.
Love him.
Yeah, a sweet Naya Lands Matter deck.
Yeah.
Stop.
So,
but yeah,
we know
we're going to go through. There's first and foremost, there is too many cards for us to nail every good card. We're going to miss some. You're going to have a different list. We're just talking about some of the things that we thought were cool.
Well, and these are also like our opinions. Like my favorite card's probably not your favorite card, and like some of the cards that I'm mentioning aren't even necessarily my favorite cards, but I think they're some of the best cards to come out of this set.
I agree.
So, without further ado, I think let's dive
get into
Theros.
Yeah. Drum roll, please.
Please no drum roll.
I'll start with my personal favorite card out of the set.
Okay.
Do it.
And then you guys can do what you want from there. But out of all the cards from Theros, my absolute favorite card was the new Athreos. I love the new Athreos. I thought it was super, super cool.
That's the coin guy, right?
Exactly, yes. You guys know that I love reanimating, and I love stealing things, and I love copying things. That deck does 2 of the 3 things that I love. And it does
Don't Pay the Ferryman deck, yeah.
Yeah.
And it does it in a super unique way. Like, I love the weird coin counters. Like, I just thought, and everyone who bought a box had the potential to get Athreos. Which also makes it great. I mean, as Commander players, we typically buy boxes because we want to crack packs. You know, like most people like cracking packs. Yeah.
Christmas Day.
Well, let's also just touch on too, like all of the gods in it were. I'm sure for every player out there, you're going to find one who likes one of these gods that were reprinted. There's just so many interesting ones. Like, what were you saying there, Hook?
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, that's one of my favorite cards in this set is also one of the gods, and we'll hit it. But
well, go ahead.
Oh, it's Thassa, Deep Dwelling. Bounce Thassa.
Oh, yeah.
Stop. The Blink Thassa that will also tap creatures. Are you kidding me?
Looking through the list, like it's so easy to forget things like the Perforos Bronze-Blooded sneak attack from the command zone. Oh,
yeah.
Oh, I made that deck. It's one of my favorite decks I've ever put together. I made a Phoenix Tribal with it. I just absolutely love the card. I love the design. I love the constellation frames that they did for them.
Oh my god.
Do you know what? Like taking like say like the trip back in time to the set, it's like just going through and just seeing some of the cards that are at the top here, like the Nyx Bloom Ancient.
Remember how big of a deal Heliod was?
Oh yeah, I still have one of the constellation ones.
But that was a huge thing.
Because like
people lost their freaking minds. They're like, "Do you know it goes infinite with Walking Ballista?" I'm like, everybody knows it goes infinite.
So we're also like, we're talking the best, but I have to mention the worst. The
pure best to see god.
First off, that is a terrible one. But no, the Cure Best the Sea God was a horrible mythic.
What a disappointing mythic. But anyway.
I love that card.
Yeah, but like as your mythic, are you kidding me? I'd be pissed.
Compared to the other ones, like you had the gods. You had Uro, Planeswalkers. Like a foil Uro is still what, $100, $200?
Easy.
I opened a couple Uros and I was just kind of like,
I didn't get a single one, and I refused to pay its current price.
Uro's so much fun.
I'm gonna say that there's probably one that's probably would be on my list that wouldn't be on any of your lists.
Before we even get to that, I have to mention the temples sucked.
Yes,
I understand that they're good for standard. I understand that they're good for standard. They were the most feel bad rares for us in these sets. Like these 50-cent to $1 rare temples were. I don't know. Maybe
you
other
guys
people
just heard me
complain
all the time about it.
Yeah, Brian's boxes were stuck.
I'm so angry.
I just wish they would have made new temples and just gave them the land types that they represented, and they came in.
That would be wonderful.
If they would have been like, that would have been the thing, I think it would have made the lands better. It would have made cracking packs from Theros better. All that stuff. I mean,
or just made them come into play untapped.
Yeah.
Exactly the way they are, except without the come to play tapped ability.
My absolute favorite card from this set, personally, Dryad of the Elysian Grove. There's just not a better card in the set, in my opinion. I love extra lands. I love landfalls, and the Prismatic Vista or Prismatic Omen on a creature. I loved everything about that card. I own so many of them. I love them. I pick them up every time.
The foil full art one that I have is probably one of my favorite ones.
Brian?
I wish I could find that one.
So my card from the set that I thought wouldn't be on any of yours is the uncommon Destiny Spinner.
Ooh, that is a super
the creatures
good
card. And enchantment spells you control can't be countered, and then I've never used the other ability, the pay 3. Yeah, no, but just being able to stop, like I instantly went into 2 lane. I don't want you countering any of my spells or enchantments.
Yeah.
Well, something that like we've all talked about without realizing or haven't brought it up is something that they did good with this set, in my opinion, again, was they brought back enchantment being creature type. And if you look at the cards that we just mentioned, aside from Oro, obviously, but everything else was an enchantment. So I'm super glad they brought that back too.
I've got a couple. Honestly, the basic lands.
I was just gonna say
yeah.
the Pokemon lands deserve a special shout out.
Yeah,
That was beautiful.
I was gonna say that too. They were definitely on my list too, Ryan. I'm just like they were my favorite lands of this year, like for basics. Sorry.
Do you know what? When they came out,
some nice ones.
When they came out, and like we did the leaks for it, and I took the picture of like your guys' actual Pokemon mana or Pokemon energy. Like, oh, these
the Theros lands look lit.
Yeah.
So I got out of Magic in the original Theros block, and then got back into Commander in this Theros block. And when I saw the Pokemon lands, my head literally just.
Do you know what? Like
I died.
I did. I was literally like, I don't even know what to do. Those are the most amazing things I've ever seen.
Like the Theros blocks. So when I was playing, I guess Standard at the time when Theros came out, I thought it was terrible. I didn't like any of the cards that came out. I didn't like anything about it. But do you know what? Commander, so many great cards. Fantastic. Just
another card that I absolutely love is Woe Strider.
Oh, Woe Strider
the
is
goat?
really good.
Do you want the 0-1 goat?
Yeah.
Where's Benson at?
Yeah. Some goatly cards.
I personally want to touch on what I think the two strongest cards from the set are.
Thassa's Oracle.
Yeah, Thassa's Oracle takes the cake.
Yeah.
That
is
it
like
takes the bakery.
It was format altering to a degree. Like it became like a quintessential CEDH combo piece.
Yep.
It became a quintessential if you have any sort of like blue draw.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you're
piece,
playing a blue draw deck, this is
you have to have it.
I think that was a big deck in Modern for a while, right? Wasn't it?
Oracle, I'm sure.
And it's funny because like people would come in to like try to get Thassa's Oracles, and we're like, yeah, I don't think you understand that like Commander players are crackheads.
Animals, commandables.
So.
It is still a very very hard card to find. I was looking for one maybe a week ago, and Face to Face was out, Star City Games was out, Card King was out.
Yeah.
Future
it's just
Gaming Online was out.
Popular.
eBay even, like, I try to, being in Canada, I tend to not buy cards from outside of Canada because the shipping is astronomical.
You get robbed, yeah.
And I ended up having to, where did I get one from? I ended up finding one somewhere online, but it took me a long time to hunt that card down.
A lot of them, yeah, a lot of these cards are still difficult to find in stock. Like, Nyx Bloom Ancients don't sit in cases.
No. Oh.
There was one today. There was one today that I saw at Phoenix that I was so close to buying.
I believe a few people went and just power sold some collections off right now.
Yeah.
Even like Dryad of the Elysian Grove is insanely difficult to find.
Mm-hmm.
They're just good. They're so good.
A card that's
$1 million and you never see it in showcases.
Oh yeah. A card that I never see anywhere, Ox of Aganis. You can't find that card.
Do you know what? I wanted to bring this one up because this is the biggest bust that we did. We said that it was complete crap when this.
I didn't like it, but
brought out.
But it's not horrible.
It's not horrible.
We talked some mean poop about this. Like
it's a card that sees more play outside of our format. Like that's a new staple in Dredge.
Yeah,
it's insane.
Which card are you guys talking about?
Ox of Aganis.
The Ox of Aganis.
Okay.
So let's actually while we're on it, I want to touch on some of those mechanics as well. So Escape was the new big Theros thing, right? And I personally didn't like it. I love my graveyard as a resource, so getting rid of my things from the graveyard is kind of feel bad in general. I didn't really give this a fair shot when I started the whole Theros thing. Now I'm looking at a bunch of these and they're pretty good. But Escape is whatever the escape cost is, plus you exile however many cards it says, and you can cast the card from the graveyard for its escape cost.
Oh, that's another powerful card we didn't talk about then.
Oh, Underworld Breach is the other one that I was going to say is the most powerful card in the set.
I forgot about that card.
Yeah. Everything has escape.
Yes.
Yeah. There was so many cards in this set that made me call people. Like Like just straight out, hey, like you've got to check this card out. This is crazy. This
Oh
is
my god.
He called me about Nyx Bloom Ancient, and then I was like, holy crap.
So another thing I really liked seeing was Nyx Lotus. I thought that was a really cool devotion-based ramp card. It's the 4-mana artifact with, in my opinion, some of the most beautiful art in the set.
So pretty.
It enters tapped. You choose a color at amount of mana equal to your devotion. A great monocolored card. It wasn't super expensive. A really, really good accelerant to a lot of decks that need it.
It's still pretty cheap too.
Yeah, like in where we are, at least it's like $7.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's basically free.
And Hydra's Growth.
Oh, that was another very good card.
Yeah, 2 and a green enchant creature. When Hydra's Growth enters the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on enchanted creature. And at the beginning of your upkeep, double the number of +1/+1 counters on enchanted creature. Like if you're playing just Han was playing this Golgari commander today, Skullbriar. This card would be amazing in that.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely in there.
Another artifact that really, really does it for me, lore-wise, but also playing-wise, is a Shadow Spear.
Yeah, having a solution to those indestructible gods that they gave us more of.
Hexproof.
It does it all.
Get rid of Hexproof for 1 mana.
Hexproof and indestructible.
Oh my god, it's ridiculous.
Get your boots out of here. Take those shoes and leave.
Right? So good.
So something I really liked that came from this set but didn't come out of the set was the Secret Lair gods. I got 2 of the boxes. I was lucky my LGS had them.
The new constellations?
Yeah, I love that they took the old gods from the Theros set and then they gave them the constellation showcase art
That's wicked.
Yeah.
I didn't know this existed.
Yep.
Oh yeah, so like all the original Theros gods got the same constellation art. It is so gorgeous.
I want Mogus so bad.
I need arrows.
Brian, I have a Mogus.
How much you want? How much?
We'll talk about it off the show. I don't want to get in trouble for requesting anything.
Illicit things. Zach wants favorites from the dark web.
It's not about money.
The dark web.
I'm looking for souls.
It's not about money, baby.
So yeah, I would say that Theros had just a lot of very good cards.
Yeah.
Consensus wise, do we want to say the best card from Theros? Anyone?
That's Oracle.
That's Oracle.
I would.
Grey Merchant of Asphodel.
That was a reprint.
Yeah, no, I'm joking. But the art is fantastic.
Though.
The next thing we got this year was Commander 2020. We got it at the same time as Ikoria, and I loved it. Loved it. These are the best Commander decks they've ever printed out of the box. Nothing can change my mind because it is a fact.
My favorite commanders that I love to play are from this.
Yeah.
So you think these are better than the ones with Eminence?
Oh, yeah.
I don't.
Oh, yeah. No. I'm not talking about the abilities. I'm not talking...
Oh, you mean play out of the box?
I'm talking about picking up these cards and playing. These are the best printed Commander decks that they've played. There are many stronger Commanders. Kalia is much better than like Akeem the Soaring Wind, for instance, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that deck is not as good out of the box as these ones were. You pick up Timeless Wisdom and play it against any other deck, and it's just night and day difference. You're going to Mimeoplasm into these super tuned decks. Like, they were the best. You were able to change them up, very customizable, very unique. But all of them, with the exception of the
Mutate.
Yeah, no, not the Mutate. The Abzan one.
Oh yeah.
How dare you?
No, the Abzan one was the weakest out of the box. Yes.
Casserole, Aspect Warper.
Yeah. But it still was out of the box good. You had very good ramp in these. You had very, very strong effects. You had tons of unique cards.
The fact that a Mardu deck was good out of the box makes me want to throw up.
Jarina Kudrow.
Yeah.
You also had the 5 free spells.
Oh yeah, that's the other thing.
Yep.
So first and foremost, let's say that is going to take the cake in this.
Yep.
Fierce Guardianship is the strongest card from Commander 2020. Bar none.
It is arguably one of the strongest commander cards this entire year.
I would say by a long shot, because Deflecting Swat is I think is a close second.
Oh yeah, I would say for the top 5, like the top 5 ones are all those free spells. They were
but I mean like Fierce Guardianship and then a close second is Deflecting Swat, and they're way better than the other three.
I really like the Otrimi one, the black one, Exile a Creature.
Deadly Rollick.
But you are correct that the Deflecting SWAT and the Fierce Guardianship are significantly stronger. I definitely like that one, but
I like Flawless Maneuvers.
That's the Indestructible?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so many. Those are very good cards. Those are cards that will also never sit in cases.
It bumps me out.
Force of Vigor, the other one?
No,
not the Force ones.
What was the green one?
It's something haze. I can't remember
it gives you.
It's a fog effect, but it's all damage.
Obscuring Haze?
Yeah,
Obscuring Haze. Prevent all damage that would be dealt this turn by creatures your opponents control.
Meh.
The weakest one. But still a very good card.
Still free fog.
Yep.
Yeah. The other four are insane, though.
So, first and foremost, I want to talk about Mana Escape Refractor. That's a silly card, and a lot of people don't realize how good it is because they think that it has to have like a different... The mana ability is an activated ability. So this Mana Escape Refractor for 3 is any land on the battlefield, basically, but as an artifact and not a land. This is a Gaia's Cradle. This is a Bazaar of Baghdad. This is such a good card. Mm-hmm. This is a Thespian stage to make another Field of the Dead. Who can say?
It just didn't need... I don't know why they needed to put it comes into play tap. That bothers me so badly because I always go to run... I always go to run it in so many different decks, and then I'm just like, gosh, it's just... I hate that I'm paying 3 and then not getting use out of it right away because it's an artifact.
But that's because of Gaia's Cradle.
I understand.
Because it's not a copy of Gaia's Cradle. It is just an extra Gaia's Cradle. Mm-hmm. Oof. Yeah, there's too many good things. So first and foremost, let's touch on some of these commanders. Brian, do you have some favorite ones from this?
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. My favorites... I'm gonna start with our favorites, Daniel. Our favorite, Trin Silvar.
It's not my favorite, but it's high up there.
Who's the best kitty of them all? Silvar, obviously. But my number one favorite deck and favorite commander, Xyrus the Writhing Storm. He is by far my favorite deck because it's just every time
Storm.
I played it today. And I was like, what? I'm gonna play that. I was like thinking like I'm gonna go the Daniel route. I'm gonna try to see how many snakes
Dirtle and make as many snakes.
I'm gonna try to see just how many snakes I can make. I had 109 snakes at my height. I
was gonna say 700 snakes,
but no. So I had 109 with a Phyrexian Altar out, and then Zach blew up my doubling season of Phyrexian Altar.
Seems fair.
I responded to try to stop it as quickly as I could.
But I was like, you know what? Like, I'm not gonna be that guy. I'll let him blow it up. And
I did try to kill everyone that turn.
Zach did the Lord's work.
Yeah.
For anyone who doesn't know, Xyrus is 2 in Teamer. He's a flying snake Leviathan, a 3/5 for 5 mana. Whenever an opponent draws a card except the first one they draw on each of their steps, you make a 1/1 snake. And whenever he deals combat damage to a player, you and that player draw that many cards. It's just a fantastic card. There's so many good decks. Like he really, I call it the bear hug deck because like you're able to run those cards traditionally that give your opponents an advantage.
That's the appropriate name, Daniel. It's the Python hug deck.
The Python hug?
Yeah.
The Boa Constrictor?
There we go. The Boa Constrictor. I like that.
That's
funny. Get it? Because it's a snake.
Do you have some favorites from this, Hope?
From the commander decks?
Yeah.
Probably.
Well, if you want to share them,
please do tell us, Hope.
Probably. Can we know? Nope, that's for me.
God, I can't remember the name of it.
What does it look like?
Like it that much.
Does it look like a flying shark?
No.
No, that's her nightmare.
No, I was gonna say that is my own personal hell.
How about we loop back around?
No, it's Kelsien.
Oh, Kelsien the Plague.
Kelsien slaps.
The experience counters,
I'm an experience counter lady.
A junkie for it.
I am, it's my crack.
Kelsien he gets 1/1 for each experience counter you have. Vigilance Haste, which is a very, very strong late in the game. His haste is nuts. He's Mardu colors for a 2/2 and taps to deal 1 damage to target creature you don't control. When that creature dies this turn, you get an experience counter. I really, really like that deck as well. Kelsian's very cool. He's 3 mana, so he's Tiny Leaders viable if you play Tiny Leaders.
You should.
You should. It's very fun. Do you have some favorites from this one, Ryan?
I really like Ukima and Kazur.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was one of the first decks that I built when I got back in. I did like a +1/+1 counters theme deck, but I didn't really enjoy playing it, but I really like what the two commanders do.
That's fair.
That's valid.
Aren't these the ones that are the
Ukima's the whale wolf.
You can food chain them, yes, Brian.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, the competitive replacement for Prosh.
Yes. They're very good competitive ones.
I really like Halden and Paco. I think they're hilarious.
Best boy, what a good boy.
Yeah, I loved that episode. I love working that episode because Daniel came up with 2 different deck lists for it. One that's just like, do you know what? It's budget, and then you built the budget competitive one, didn't you?
Yeah, both of them. I love Halden and Paco. They're some of my favorite pairings. They're very unique, and I love that big old dog.
Yeah. Super funny.
Zach?
All right, so I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but currently I have 25 commander decks, right? And of my 25 commander decks, 9 are all from Commander 2020 and Ikoria. Like,
nice.
Amazing.
I was gonna say, are 22 of them Abzan?
I'm working on it. I have a page. I'm doing it. It's just a slow process. But I from just 2020, like obviously Yannick and
Kara.
Oh, yes, thank you. The Scavengers, like that's probably my favorite deck. But I also Paladin and Paco built. I have Pramicon built. I have
Pramicon's very cool.
Who else do I have built back here? I have Halden and Paco built
twice.
Okay, so those are the only Commander 2020 decks I have built as far as like those commanders. I really liked all of them. They're just great. Like they all did something unique. Them bringing back Partner With was very cool.
Yeah,
like we were all. The community was very like wanted to see Partner again, but a lot of people were also concerned how that was going to shape the format with Partner being as strong as it was originally. So Partner With to bring that back so quickly after Battle Bond was nice to see. Yeah, I have nothing really bad to say. I have so many loves from this set and the Ikoria set in general for commanders. One card that I did feel bad about, but I like it in another format after I started playing it was what's it? The one stupid mana rock that was like is it Bonder's Ornament?
Bonder's Ornament.
That was Ikoria, yeah.
So that
it was these decks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was
Ikoria,
so that
these are the Ikoria decks.
Yeah.
They're bad. They're very bad. They shouldn't have been printed. And they're awful. But in Pauper, they are phenomenal. Like they are staples in Pauper decks.
And everybody would have one because it's a Pauper Soul Ring.
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
It's cool. I didn't know it. I've been since quarantine and everything. I've been delving into it, and like when I saw all these lists running Bonder's Ornament, I was like, holy crap! Like I hate this card, and it's actually super good. So, some cool stuff to.
And it only gets better assuming everybody else is playing it. So.
Yeah.
I definitely have some wild thoughts on these commanders. I'll get to it, but first I have to say, like, I think that Molten Echoes was one of the best tribal cards that's ever been printed. I just think it's nuts. It's 2 red. As it enters, you choose a creature type. Whenever a non-token enters of that type, you get a token that's a copy of it with haste, and it exiles at the end step. It is so good. It is so good in slivers. It's so good when you have it in like Rata, like red-green elves. I just the ability to double up on your creatures is always good.
My 2 just from like going through the list here on Mythic Spoilers, the Species Specialist and the Title Barracuda. They are 2 of my call out cards for the set. Yeah.
Species Specialist is so cool, and people just forget that it's a card.
Yeah.
Yep.
And like Title Barracuda allowing everyone to have flash except for your opponents on your turn, like sounds excellent to me.
For me,
the 2 that I liked the most were Zaxar the Exemplary, the Expelliarmus commander. He is just so silly. The Death Touch Hydra that taps for 2 mana of any color, and then whenever you cast a spell with X in it, you get a 0/0 Hydra with X counters on it. Yeah, he's I just love him. The X matters. Like, he is very, very good. But my top card from this set, which I just cannot get over how fun it is to play, as Tayam. I love Tayam, Luminous Enigma, one an Abzan for the Nightmare Beast, the Counters Matter deck that recurs from the graveyard. I just cannot say enough good things about that deck. It is one of the most fun decks I've ever piloted. I am in love with the deck. I'm so proud of building it. I'm so proud of the list in it. It's so fun. It looks so cool. I just love that card.
Awesome.
Yeah.
It's super good. It is very, very good.
Another card that's really, I think, really stand out in the set was Verge Rangers.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, yep. Yep, there it is. There we go. So Verge Rangers, 2 and a white, human scout. First strike, and you may look at the top card of your library at any time. As long as your opponents control more lands than you, you may play a land from the top of your library. You may play a land from this way if your
opponents control more.
Yeah, exactly. There we go.
What?
Brian's in the sauce today.
Having some apple juice.
I think we're on number 8, but shh, don't tell my mom.
It's a New Year's tradition. This is what we do. Boy.
I do have to say, one of my other favorite things in this set was everyone speculating on Villainous Wealth when Zexara was spoiled, and everyone rushing out to buy Villainous Wealth only to find out that it was reprinted in that deck. Hilarious.
So funny.
That card was fully bought out, and then it was just like, hey, by the way, it's here.
Yo,
Love it.
you want to build with Villainous Wealth? We got you.
Whoops.
Oh,
They did the same thing with God. It's the card that makes all of your cycling cards cheaper.
Yeah, Fluctuator.
So
Yeah,
funny.
Fluctuator. I was
like,
so happy to see people get just destroyed.
Hosed on it. Yeah, speculate
Yes.
later, peasants.
and one of the cards that was used as a commander a lot of the times, Alicia, who smiles at death, or like used in a lot of decks. Like that one was printed here too.
Yeah,
She's 2 and a
I
red.
always forget about her.
Yeah, first strike, and whenever Alicia, who smiles at death, attacks, you may pay Orzhov. If you do, return target creature card with power 2 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield, tapped and attacking.
Such a good card.
Yep.
I think it goes without saying that we know what the strongest ones from this is. I've got to give it to Fierce Guardianship. I just don't think anything is as good.
Agreed.
There's a lot of good things in both the commander decks and Ikoria as a set, but yeah, I definitely agree with you. Fierce Guardian.
We're not even on
reflects
Ikoria yet.
Oh, I know. I have plenty of things to say about Ikoria.
Well, take it away and start us off. I'm looking through that list. Nuts. Ikoria was bonkers.
Oh yeah.
So as soon as the Apex, as soon as they were spoiled and Mutate was finally like explained, I literally built every single Apex as a deck. The only one I'm missing right now is Snap Dax, but I have all the others built. I love this.
You didn't build all of them.
You said what?
So you didn't build all of them.
I have a brew. I just don't have.
I built all of them except the ones I didn't build.
That's still 4 decks. My bad. But
sorry.
Like my favorite card from this entire set was definitely Nithroy. If you don't know what Nithroy is, it's 2 white, black, green for a legendary creature, Cat Nightmare Beast. It's a 5/5 and has mutate for 4 hybrid white, green, black, black. Death Touch Lifelink. Whenever this creature mutates, return any number of target creature cards with total power 10 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield.
I have to stop you right there. How is he a cat? He's more like an anteater nightmare beast.
Ooh,
They're all.
Don't you dare talk badly about my little kitty baby.
He's not a kitty. He is more like he's an anteater. Look at that tongue.
So you guys know I love Abzan. When I saw this guy, I was just like, "Are you kidding me? This is yep. All right." I love Mutate. I love all the Apex. They're great. This set just had so much cool stuff. The ultimatums are phenomenal.
What always hits me with Mutate is that like I had zero interest in Mutate. It was just like not my thing. But every single person that I see build Mutate decks has like the best time, and they love it so much, and it looks dope. But I'm just like, ugh.
Well, you guys know my love for uncommanders, and I have the 2 uncommander decks I have built I have Griselda Monster Masher, and I have Commander Surgeon General. And that's where Mutate came from, was the augment and host. So once Mutate was actually spoiled, it's like, yes, this is what
like,
I want to
oh
do.
my god, it's legal.
Before we get off the Apexes, the amazing Godzilla or crossover art that we had for those cards.
And the comic book art, dude.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, like that. Just that in itself was amazing.
Nice.
I honestly think this is the best set of the year. I'm gonna continue to talk about it, and you guys are gonna have to stop me. But like, the Apex, they're sweet. Mutate, sweet. The ultimatums, for them to bring them back is insane, because I loved the Alara block.
Bring me back, boys.
Eerie Ultimatum blew my mind.
Yeah.
Some like, if you go to my computer at work right now and you turn it on, my background is Eerie Ultimatum. I've had so many people ask me what it is. I love the ultimatums. All the mythos are sweet. There's not a single
snapbacks.
So I have to ask you, how would you describe the art for Eerie Ultimatum if someone's to ask you, what is that? Well, it's just a bunch of animals hovering or levitating in green purple mist.
It's easy. It's Pet Cemetery.
Ah, okay, that makes sense.
Sometimes Jet is better.
I retract my statement.
I thought you were going to ask about the mythos. I was like, oh, those are cave drawings, dog.
Like, it's so easy.
Oh no.
But
I mean, I haven't had that many drinks yet.
Mythos were great. All the Mutate creatures were super unique. The fact that we had all this cool different art, whether it be the comic book or the kaiju, even the legendary creatures.
My favorite, Luminous Broodmoth. I love the Mothra art for it.
I literally have it open on my list of like cards that I love. Luminous Broodmoth was wild.
They literally reprinted Birthing Pod as a creature in this set, and they gave us Companion.
Feed Artisan is so amazing.
Nothing has been more like controversial than like Companion. Like as a like mechanically, that was wild.
The fact that they had to change
They're like, hey,
we didn't think this through. Sorry.
We really. I don't know who got a path for water, but
all right, Companion did nothing wrong. At least in Commander, I think it should be changed back to how it was, because I think it's perfectly fine. But the last thing I will talk about, then I will start sharing. I'm sorry, guys, but the Triomes, like this, Ikoria, honestly,
Trilands.
I think Ikoria was just the best set of the year.
Remember when everyone was just like, the Trilands are pretty good. They're gonna be like $2.
I'll buy any of them for $2.
Same. I'll buy them all for $3.
Send them all to me. I will PayPal you the money.
I will pay you $5.
Straight up from this set is a meme card, but that's kind of the road that I'm going down lately. This is my path.
Yeah.
And it's Draneth Magistrate.
Card after my own heart.
Dude, that card is my jam. I love it. So mean.
I'm happy to see you're finally coming over to the dark side.
Yeah, I built one salt deck and I'm like, I should do this again. And it's super fun. Let me tell you what. But what I would say is my personal like best card from this set is the Ozolith. Without question.
Oh yeah.
That card is ridiculous.
And they also gave us
a one drop.
Yeah. They also gave us a what's it called?
That's a great card.
The Bastion of Remembrance. They gave us like the stack, or not the stacks piece, but the life
Aristocrat.
Aristocrat piece in an enchantment form.
We also got a better Explosive Vegetation and Migration Path. It does the same thing, same mana cost, but you can cycle it.
Yeah, let me jump in there. This set started off probably the worst thing for Commander of the Year, which is the absurd power creep. This set is one of the strongest ones, and like you just said, you got a better of this, a better of that. Wilt is just, why would you run Naturalize when there's Wilt?
Yes.
Right? Like it's just I
keep forgetting about that.
Yeah, they replaced so many cards with just strictly better cards, right?
Exactly the same thing, but cycling. And I'm like, great. Obviously, that's what I want.
Yeah, there was insane power creep in the set, like Kin and Bonder Prodigy.
Cross that off my list.
Yeah. The Simic, whenever you tap an on-land permanent for mana, add 1 mana of any type that permanent produced, is silly with a mana sink in it. Look at the top 5 cards of your library, put a non-human card from among them onto the battlefield and the rest. Obviously, like, there's no way to look at that and not have it be a competitive card. Like,
Dan, I'm going to straight interrupt you because I want to cover a card real quick because I know it's on your list as well, and I want to get one in the original. Is Barrier Breach.
Oh, that's Barrier Breach that's not even one of the power creep cards. That's just one of the best cards printed this year.
The card is so good.
I don't think I even know what that card is. Hey, I just mentioned it, and there it is.
It's 2 colorless and a green for an instant, and you can exile up to 3 target enchantments, and it has cycling 2.
How have I not seen this card?
That's some of the stuff that needs to be in the game. Like, that is a very, very good card.
Thank you. Thank you, all of you, for introducing me to this card, because I did not see this.
Same thing.
It deals with so many problems.
Same thing for Dire Tactics. When Swords and Path weren't as accessible earlier in the year, Dire Tactics was, if you're in the colors, is just awesome. White and a black for an instant, exile target creature. If you don't control a human, you lose life because that creature's toughness.
There was a ton. The cycling on so many cards was just nuts, and like you said, exactly that exile effect so rampant.
Like this is probably my favorite set of this year easily. There's just so much good stuff.
Do you know what? Like there's just all these sets that had so much good stuff in it.
The companions are what I was saying is they're nuts. They're silly. Like they're really, really good. And there's so many. Zerda's another one of the, like, obviously you don't have to play it competitively, but to me it just jumped at me as I'm going to make this competitive deck card because it's silly.
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, training center or training zone, whatever it is. Training grounds. Ooh, I'm in the sauce too. Training grounds in the command zone in hybrid mana. Silly how good that card is. And then you have so many other things. Like you had the Shark Typhoon. Why would they print that?
Animals.
Yeah.
What was Typhoon? Like Zerda is able to go infinite with 2 artifacts?
Zerda's able to get infinite mana with any artifact that taps. Basalt Monolith, Grim Monolith.
Yeah, those were the 2 that I was thinking about.
Many other ones. Zerda's able to equip most of the swords for 0 mana.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, it's real good. Yeah, the ultimatums, as we talked about, were really, really good cards. Like, really good cards. All of the Mythos cards, that whole cycle, silly. Yeah, like, they were very good. But, like, this set is just, bar none, the most powerful Magic set we've seen in recent times. Like, you've seen a lot of cards from this be banned in multiple formats everywhere. You've seen, not Commander as much, except for Lutri. They did my boy wrong.
I just love so much that it feels like when Wizards printed the set, like, yes, they did, like, I don't know the kind of playtesting they did or what they didn't do, but like
they
it really
blindfolded drunk.
Blindfolded drunk and only as commander card. They're like,
I just love it because this was a set when I was cracking it open. Every single card I sat and read, even though like I looked at all the spoilers, it's just like there's just so much you can do, so many things you can use. Like every card in the set I didn't
felt good, like
yeah, like, and it's not even so much just power, like because they were better ofs, like you were saying, Dan. It's also just the fact that like, oh, I want to build mutate decks in every color. Like, oh, cool, there is mutate cards in every color. They all do something unique and different. And there are cards, that obviously just keep synergizing with that. Like they did such a good job of really harking on this theme of evolution and growth within these species, and it was just displayed so well. And even bringing the Godzilla like alternate cards, I love that stuff.
These big monsters. Well, and one of the other things I really liked from the set was like obviously because y'all know that I live and breathe for the lore, but like I just really liked. I do. I just really liked all of the cards that had any sort of reference to the relationship between humans and monsters. You know what I mean? I thought it was really nice because that's just like that's why I was also like, yeah, let's give Vivian a little like moment in the sunshine. Good for her.
The Bonders are so cool.
Bonders are so dope.
Bog Bonders.
There was a lot. This set is
Yes.
probably the first set as well that I looked at that was not designed for standard. They hosed standard players with this. This was for Commander. They've abandoned, at this point in the game, I believe they abandoned standard as a format and just said, hey, we're playing Commander now. Work the format out yourselves.
They got tipped off that the COVID was coming, and they were built a Commander set so we could play at home on camera.
Insider trading.
Honestly, flat out though, like there's just so many cards that were great for Commander. And going back to the power creep thing, power creep isn't all bad. Like a lot of these cards being strict upgrades or better cards really enable new players to get into the format, into the game. And there's some great cards for starting your first Commander decks.
Oh, 100%. Like being able to build a human tribal deck because you got more lords and more gas for it is absolutely amazing. Be able to do like a Kenrith human tribal for 5 colored humans because you got
General Kudro.
Yep, and Jarina and just all of them. So many humans.
A very cool card as well.
Winota.
I'm pretty sure she got banned in 1v1. Like
Winota,
almost
1v1's not a real format.
But still, it's a thing. People play.
That's like saying it's banned in my basement. No one cares.
Whatever.
Fine then. I won't bring her, Dan.
Huh?
Even if you don't use the commander or the companion ability, every single one of the companions make a good commander.
Yep, they're very cool. I have a Lutri deck built, and I'll play it anyways.
One of my favorites is Kahira.
Kahira the Orphan Guard.
Yeah.
And Karuga.
Not the Optimus or
Dinosaur Hippo.
Yeah, that.
Zach's favorite Lurus.
Lurus is a really good card printed.
Yeah.
I'm surprised it doesn't see more playing Commander, to be honest.
I run it everywhere I can.
I've seen it a lot.
Yeah.
I'm very
out here really likes it.
Yeah, this meta is a nightmare.
I'm currently working on Kodama Yamori. I'm so excited for that deck.
Ryan, did you have any you wanted to touch on here? We kind of jumped over you there.
No, I think most of this set, honestly, while it has a lot of powerhouses, I don't think anything other than like Hope stole my Ozolith, Zach stole my Kinnan Bonner Prodigy.
I didn't say.
I think that was me with Kinnan. Yeah.
I'm a nightmare with Atraxa. I'm a 1/1 counter girl, so I had to take the Ozolith.
I have one last thing to talk about on this set too.
Hold on. I honestly I don't play it as much because I don't play a lot of blue, but I really like Shark Typhoon.
Ooh, yeah.
Very cool.
And like Hope probably just had a bunch of shivers saying Sharknado.
I mean, okay, I'm not that afraid of sharks. I'm afraid, but I'm not so afraid that I can't say the word.
Sharknado.
Operation Great Shark was the worst thing that ever happened to me.
Yep.
So.
Pouncing Shore Shark.
What do we want to say is the strongest in these sets? My vote personally is the Triomes and Ozolith.
I go for the Ozolith.
I agree.
Obviously the Lance, but
I'll tell you, there's never an instance of casting Eerie Ultimatum where it's not a blowout.
That's true.
Yeah, Eerie or Ruinous is very good. I would honestly say Draenith Magistrate has to be up there too.
Yeah.
Probably one of the strongest ones. That card does hose some strategies.
Yeah, it does.
It definitely does.
Yeah, I have to agree with all of you, actually.
If your deck counted on your commander. That's crazy.
I'd say the one thing that we didn't mention was the crystals. The new 3-colored
full ramp.
With
the
also
new
cycling?
3-colored crystals with cycling, yeah.
No reason not to play them.
No. And I had like a couple of really cool like foil ones, so I was like, I have to put these in places.
Obviously, because you are
a magpie, as Lotus tells me I'm a magpie.
Magpie. She gets it.
Yeah.
Also, honorable mention, even though it's really high mana and you don't see it too much, Colossification is silly.
Yes.
I
Is
love
that
it.
plus 20?
Yeah, thick cat. Big
Yeah, that
kitty.
art. That art's so good.
I like
I
the
also-
big caterpillar. The alt art. Oh my gosh. Big caterpillar.
I also really like Kogla the Titanate.
Yep.
Yes.
You don't see
He's
that
cool.
card enough, honestly. It's a
No.
very cool card.
Definitely not King Kong. Wink, wink.
Wink, wink.
I don't get it because I'm fairly positive that Toho owns the rights to King Kong. So I don't know.
I have no idea. It was really weird that they didn't do that.
It's because they don't. The people that own the rights to Godzilla don't own the rights to King Kong because of it's because of the remakes.
Yeah, so instead we got definitely not King Kong.
Wink.
Which is fine.
Yeah, there was very cool cards. I do think that the companions also deserve just an honorable mention. Every one of them is good.
Yeah, they're very neato burrito, if nothing else.
They all fit into their own spot. I really love Gigantha.
I really wish I could play with Lutri.
I say do it anyways, dude. I'm making a Grizzlebrand deck. What do I care?
I tend to not try to break the stream only because I play elsewhere and some other groups are sticklers on stuff.
Play it with us.
Have you tried hitting them?
No.
Well, you just keep that in your back pocket.
What you need to do is make Gaddock Teague. Then if anyone complains about your deck that includes Lutri, you play Gaddock Teague.
Dude, I'm just gonna make them all hate me when I start playing Arkelos.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You get
so
it.
Do we want to move on to the best core set that they've
that's ever been printed ever?
Yo, first off, before that,
what?
Other votes on strongest cards? I said Ozolith.
Yeah, I think we hit it.
Yeah, only I hit it.
No. Is that you?
Oh, I do have to say Broodmoth for 4 mana and like Zach said the word a little while ago. What did you use again?
Aristocrat?
Yeah, there we go. That one. Keyword for the night. Aristocrats deck. Like that is amazing. Being able to sacrifice and then have everything come back with flying.
A flying counter.
Yep.
Oh, that was another thing we forgot to talk about. Keyword counters.
Oh yes.
My God.
The set, keyword counter. I'm telling you guys.
Pretty cool.
I didn't realize it, but I definitely think Ikoria is probably my favorite set now. It used to be Innistrad, but I think it's Ikoria.
I thought you just said this about the last set we talked about.
I'm going to throw out for anybody watching, a shameless plug on a not sponsor, but if you play with Ikoria stuff, the Infinity tokens are great for keyword counters.
Very true.
Keywords.
All right, so now can we move on, Daniel?
Yes, now we can go.
I think we should just skip this set. It was garbage.
Honestly, so flat out, first off, I'm going to just call it all 15 artworks of Teferi are great.
One minute. I guess, what set are we talking about here?
Yeah, this is Core 2021.
Oh, okay.
I also do think, I don't know who said it, but it is probably the strongest core set printed.
It's okay.
Yeah, that's definitely what I said.
Every mythic is good.
Yeah, how do you choose the strongest from this set when you look at here's Chromatic Orrery? What?
Oh, I know the best card from the set. I didn't know we were already there.
No. I'm saying how can you choose one when you're looking through all of these cards?
Oh, they're so good. And I would assume that you're the top one, Zach, would be Brash Tonner.
It is the best red card ever printed. I will stand and die on that hill.
How did you know?
You said what?
You just get it out of the way. You go on this Brash Taunter.
You got 30 seconds. The floor is yours.
Look, if you don't know what Brash Taunter is, you've definitely screwed up in life. Brash Taunter is a 4 and a red goblin, 1/1. Doesn't sound great. Has indestructible. Okay, it gets better. Whenever Brash Taunter is dealt damage, it deals that much damage to target opponent. 2 and a red, tap Brash Taunter, it fights another target creature. So already this card's amazing on its own, but we got so much support for this card in this set with stuff like Conspicuous Snoop, another goblin that now lives in Modern, which I'm not going to talk about what Conspicuous
Fiery
Snoop is.
Emancipation?
Yes, that's what we're going to talk about. Fiery Emancipation, which is where, if you guys don't know, that's where Brash Taunter actually lives. He only comes up to the surface to taunt people to go back to the Fiery Emancipation. Fire Emancipation is 3 red for an enchantment. If a source you control would deal damage to a permanent or player, it deals triple that damage to that permanent or player instead. I cannot tell you how many times I have killed the table with these 2 cards. It's not Magical Christmas Land. It happens. and I will die on this hill. Brass Hunter is the best red card ever printed.
Like ever out of everything.
Ever.
That's what he claims.
Like even including the cards that trigger him.
Yes.
Zach's wild. He loves the card though.
According to him, it's better than Wheel of Fortune.
It is, because it doesn't cost $7 billion.
You're insane.
Whoa.
That is a valid argument about the $7 billion, though. I will say.
$7 billion moose bucks.
What's really awesome about Brass Hunter and a lot of the cards that we saw in this set they were super unique. I will say, like, for a core set, you know, we never really know what we're going to get from a core set, right? We always expect our expansion sets and stuff like that to be the cards that are going to have the cards that are like unique and super flavorful and really interesting. And honestly, there's just so much cool stuff with, you know, from
this set was really good.
From the new planeswalkers, we got the new legendary creatures, like even just the normal. If a set has Baneslayer Angel and Massacre Worm in it, it's a great. You're not. Yeah. I cannot be convinced otherwise.
Two of my favorite cards from the set, Veto and Teferi's Ageless Insight. Like those two legendary permanents are absolutely amazing. Veto, Thorn of the Duskgross, 2 and a black, legendary creature, vampire cleric. Whenever you gain life, target opponent loses that much life. Pay 3, 2 black. Creatures you control gain lifelink until end of turn. Fantastic. Like that card's amazing.
It's awesome because this is where they started sneaking in clerics and all the other creatures that we're going to see later. Yeah, that we're going to see later in the Zendikar set that cared about party mechanics. And I remember we were talking about Aura, and we were just like, "Oh crap, this was a couple sets ago." You know, like we can start shuffling these cards over.
Right.
Blown away by Elder Gargaroth. That was like a 6/6 for 5. Vigilance, Reach, Trample is amazing.
That would have been great. That would have been plenty.
Then they add on when it attacks or blocks, you can create a 3/3 beast, gain 3 life, or draw a card. I'm just like,
yeah.
Is this a planeswalker?
Right?
it's like a light primeval bounty.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does everything.
It's dope.
And none of them are bad.
No, none of them are bad. It's whatever you need. Whatever you need, baby, we got you. One of my favorite cycles from this, I don't know, is the shrines also.
Yep. I was just looking at those. You're like reading my mind here, Hope.
I'm in your brain. I'm in both of your mind brains.
Do you know what?
I love the shrines.
I think the biggest drop, the biggest fail in the set was
Animal Sanctuary?
No, Colossal Dreadmaw.
Well, you're wrong. No way. Best printed in the set. Are you kidding me?
Colossal Dreadmaw has irked me ever since Ixalan.
Card
they have reprinted him too many times in the last 8 sets.
La. Best.
Stop.
Don't you ever
stop.
talk.
I will argue about. No.
That's enough.
Part of the stuff that I can't.
You're enough.
Was before it was printed, Grim Tutor was like 11 million moose bucks.
And now it's like $22.
This set had amazing reprints.
Yeah.
They reprinted it in this set. It dropped to nothing, and nobody plays with it.
I play with it.
Very few people play with it.
I think it's because so many people are so used to not playing it already.
That's the same thing. I mean, I guess I'll touch on it when we get to the set. But there are other reprints that I have the same feeling about from this year.
I feel you, sister. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. Hell yeah, buddy.
Azusa was one of the best reprints in this set.
Yeah,
that's such really a good card. The fact that it came down so much in price.
Yeah, they're like $12 in Canadian, and that is free.
Yeah, they were like $50 to $60.
Yeah. Now even the original ones are only like $30, $35. It's awesome.
I was so close to getting back into playing Modern because Azusa's came back. I was like, I can play Amulet Titan again, and it'd be somewhat affordable.
Do it.
So I was
do it.
Just going through these cards, ladies and gentlemen.
Cards.
And I don't know if it was because I got my beer goggles on or not, but Waker of Waves? Is that a spelling error on Wizard's behalf? Should that have been Maker of Waves? The giant whale?
No.
How do you wake waves?
By moving when you're a giant whale.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you call that wakes?
Brian, have another sip of your apple juice.
Okay.
Did we talk about Basri Ket or Mangara while I was taking off my
Your
hoodie?
almond ket planeswalkers called Basri
No, we
Ket?
didn't.
Yes.
Who's that from? And
It's just a meme.
Oh, I thought it was somebody.
No.
I'm not.
Basri Ket is a wicked card.
Basri Ket is one of the best planeswalkers to ever happen to me.
Mhm. I'm not a
What
huge.
does he do?
Read him.
I'll do it.
Zach?
Basri Ket's 1 white for legendary planeswalker. Starts with 3 loyalty. You can +1 Basri Ket to put a +1/+1 counter on up to 1 target creature. It gains an instruct once on turn. You can neg 2 whenever 1 or more non-token creatures attack this turn. Create that many 1/1 white soldier creatures tokens that are tapped and attacking. Neg 6, you get an emblem with at the beginning of combat on your turn. Create a 1/1 white soldier creature token, then put a +1/+1 counter on each other creature you control.
Nope. Each creature you control, not other.
Yeah, I didn't mean to throw that in there.
It's solid. Ooh.
So good. Like I just said, I am the 1/1 counter queen.
I've called you that, yes.
I know. I accept my title graciously.
I'll tell you a card that I absolutely love. For the minute I saw it, I picked one up. It's in a deck, and I've never cast the card. Is Mangara the Diplomat.
Mm-hmm.
3 colors white for a 2/4 with lifelink, and whenever an opponent attacks with creatures, if 2 or more of those creatures are attacking you or planeswalkers you control, draw a card. And whenever an opponent casts their second spell of each turn, draw a card. The card is insane for white.
You know what's also nuts about Mangara? Human cleric. We're sneaking them in, boys.
Mangara should be blue.
Yeah.
And it's not. Mangara's abilities are blue, and they're just
green.
like, it's cool.
It would fit green fine.
They're like, oh, it's cool. It's cool.
Because blue and green are the same color.
Y'all out here complaining about white. We got you.
Fabled Passage is also crazy good.
Yeah, it was a good reprint.
That's not reprint. That's this set.
No, it's a reprint.
Fabled Passage?
Yeah, dude,
it was from Throne.
I thought it was this one.
No.
It was in Throne.
Yep.
Oh, I was thinking Prismatic.
Another card that was an amazing reprint was Heroic Intervention.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, I think I cracked 6 of those in the M21 boxes that I cracked. And
they were pricey.
And I was pissed when I first cracked it because this was me getting back in the game. And they were like, everybody's like, dude, that's like a $20 card. I'm like, wait, what? And they now, all 6 of them have homes.
My biggest gripe with this set is Rin and Siri. That card's exclusivity is brutal. It was only a buy a box. It's very popular.
Yeah, dogs, cats, Naya. What more do you want?
I was really bummed. This was one of the buy boxes I couldn't get from my LGS because by the time I got there to get my box, they were all out of promos.
You ever get your hands on one?
Mm-mm. They just didn't get enough. It was part of the issue when everything started to get wonky.
Yeah.
And
I feel that. That's how that happened to us with the mana confluences.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Another amazing reprint was Solemn Simulacrum. I cannot begin to put. I never have enough of these. I always put them in every deck. I just love everything about this card.
Same with Scavenging Ooze.
I don't use Solemn ever.
Really? Well, you play a lot of
2 decks.
You play a lot of green though, where I mean, you do like your ramp and stuff.
Oh, I ramp hard. Yeah, I don't know. I personally am not a huge fan. I know everyone really loves Solemn Simulacrum. I just
Oh, I'm a complete idiot. The best card in the set, maybe Brass Chandra, or it's Village Rites. Oh my god!
Oh yeah, Zach loves that card too.
It's phenomenal.
If you guys don't know, 1 black instant as additional cost to cast this spell, sacrifice a creature.
What in the heck are you wearing?
New Christmas gift.
And you sack a creature and draw 2 cards. Oh, you're gonna path my whatever. That's cool. I'm gonna Village Rites. You lose this. The spell fizzles, and I get to draw 2 cards, and I get to put my creature in the graveyard.
Zach, you being a lover of Solemn Simulacrum, it's 5 mana. When it comes into play, you search your library for a land, put it into play tapped. No, just listen. And then you sack it and draw 3 cards.
Oh, yeah. I see what you're doing there.
So for 5 mana, you get a land into play tapped and 3 cards. This is another set where I was like, man, I spent a ton of money on Ikoria because I wanted to build so many decks. And then I was lucky enough my cousin bought so much of this set that I could just
he just gave me things. He's like, "Oh, I've got foil full arts of all this stuff. You can have whatever you want." So I lucked out in that regard. But this was a set that, like, oof, it was like I said, I think it's the best core set that they've printed.
I really like New Rata.
Yeah.
Oh, New Rata, right? Look, hold on here.
Yeah, Ryan, you can go on about Rata here.
Oh my God, hold on, let me find her just so I read all the text correctly.
Or incorrectly if you're me.
Rata Heart of the Keld is 1 colorless green-red for a 3/3, a legendary creature elf warrior. As long as it's your turn, Rata of the Keld has first strike. You may look at the top card of your library, and you may play land cards from the top of your library. And then you can pay 4 red-green, and Rata gets +X where until end of turn, where X is the number of lands you control.
I love it.
Does, like, I have a Lands Matters deck based around this. It is a blast to play. It does so much work. You can surprise, oops, I kill you out of the blue with her.
Yes, you can.
You're just like, I'm going to attack you with a 3/3, and they're like, I'm at 40 life, I'm okay. And you're like, nope, she just kills you.
Yeah, that could be mean. Right.
That is probably my favorite deck I own is my Rata deck.
I also really think Liliana Standard Bearer was a cool card.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
I think Bastard's Lieutenant was one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God. That was a card that I accidentally found out was amazing in my Scavengers deck when I was playing. Like, it's phenomenal.
I stepped away real quick. Did we talk about the cat dog?
Yeah, yes. I said that it's how exclusive it was a problem.
Oh,
I think it's one of the better cards in the set. It's very popular.
I now that I actually have a deck built with it, it's a lot of fun, and like this was like one of like the buy a box promos that I didn't get.
Yeah, we went over that about how it kind of felt bad if you didn't get some of the new promos this year because of the problems.
Yeah.
Is that card expensive, Hope?
It's about $20 to $25
if you can find it.
Crap.
Did Hope or anyone discuss my girlfriend?
I don't know who your girlfriend is.
The Indulging Patrician.
Oh my God. No.
So Indulging Patrician is 1, and Orzhov is a vampire noble, uncommon, flying and lifelink, and at the beginning of your end step, if you gained 3 or more life this turn, each opponent loses 3 life.
And not to mention, she's fine as hell.
Mm-hmm.
Another set that had amazing art.
Yeah. Oh yeah, like when I saw the art, it wasn't even like the card's ability or anything. When I saw the art, I was like, this is fantastic. Like the pink/reddish moon in the background, like her holding her victim, like it. I guess like I grew up on Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and that's what I kind of felt.
Yes, dude. This was another good set that had like Dan talked about with Teferi having 14 different printings. This is another set that I thought the showcase arts were amazing. Like the Planeswalker lands were very, very cool. The Planeswalker treatment for like you talked about Liliana Standard Bearer. Like that's one of my favorite foils from this set. I run in a couple different decks, and it's beautiful. They did, you can say what you want about like the showcase arts and how they do things with it, but honestly, like as a collector and commander players, like this is the kind of stuff that I love. I
think they add something very cool.
It goes back to like we talked about quite a few episodes ago now, but it's about like blinging out your deck and really like how you choose to express yourself through deck building. Like I could run this normal version of Standard Bearer, or I could run the showcase version, because I like how it looks.
Sometimes you gotta flex.
Do you want something feel bad? Do you want something feel bad about this set? Those temples.
Skylands.
I hate them.
Which ones?
The temples.
The other Skylands.
Yeah, the temples are bunk.
Yep. I
personally like all the
They should have been uncommon.
I think the Skylands are great lands. I just think that they're feel bad rare when you
should have been uncommon.
Oh, yep. Ugin being reprinted in here too was also silly.
Oh my God, they reprinted Ugin.
Another card I love in this set is Conclave Mentor. It's a green and white for a 2/2, and if one or more +1/+1 counters we put on a creature you control, put an additional 1 on it, and then when it dies, you gain life equal to its power.
Nice.
Do you know what?
Nice.
These lands as well, like the special lands, like fantastic. I love them, especially foil.
Brian, Special Boy lands.
Mm-hmm.
You're my special boy.
How
Brian.
did you know?
My thoughts on the strongest card in this set is obviously Teferi. I think he's silly how good he is.
Every turn, being able to use his ability every single turn.
Mm-hmm.
And he's another card that has 27 different printings in this.
Let's before we even do that, his -3 is one of the best removals. Target creature you don't control phases out is really good.
You know, this sounds dumb, but one of my favorite things that Wizards does is they put reminder text.
Mm-hmm.
I love reminder text. So having the reminder text there for phasing, I was just so, I know it's stupid, but I was just so happy.
It's not stupid. It rules.
A lot of people don't know how a lot of mechanics actually function. And the reminder text is nice.
Well, especially for mechanics that are not like overtly common, like phasing, you know.
Like Mirage was the last time it had a normal printing.
You know.
So. Oh, and flat out, I have to say that the Cultivate rare art, that is beautiful.
Oh yeah, the Cultivate was amazing.
So many people complained about that as a rare. I love it. Just can't get enough.
No, change the art, but change the rarity. You can have the same card, but with better and harder to get art as a rare. Like I understand it. I get it. It's cool. It's a collector thing, but
I'm
like
good as long as the card is good. If they print something that's junk with an alternate art and a rarity, and it's just a garbage card, then
Box Topper Brainstorm.
Yep.
I liked it.
Oh,
looks great.
man.
Or the double masters box toppers when you got a crop rotation.
I got that.
That one's wildly popular for some reason. I don't know why people love it so much, but I'd be mad.
It looks gorgeous.
Compared to what you could have gotten.
Whatever. Could have been Council's Judgment also.
Whatever.
I will say a runner-up for the most powerful card in this set is Ugin.
Yeah, Ugin's pretty good. Brian, Zach, thoughts?
For most powerful card, it's Brash Chauner. I have nothing to say. Like it's just such a it's just such a unique card. Like I'm not being like jokey or memey. I just really like it. I've been playing red a lot more since Brash Chauner has came out. I just love that kind of design space for a red card. I think it's super cool, super unique. I love seeing what they have been doing lately with
Zach actually proposed to Brash Chauner.
I have a deck dedicated to him. You can go to my Architect right now.
He put a ring on that.
Hope you have a strongest card from the set.
I mean, I think strongest is subjective, but I think like my personal favorite from the set is Chromatic Orrery.
It's fair. Chromatic Orrery is good.
So
my favorite, my top power, Pride Malkin. That's an adorable looking
Sassy
show cat
kitty.
right there.
that's a sassy kitty if I ever did see one. Oh my god. I know that you can't see me, Brian. I know you can't see me, listeners. But my arms went up and I did like a little like, oh my god.
I was just scrolling the thing and I was like, that looks like a show cat. He's just being all prancy. And I'm gonna say that card.
And then Ryan, I can't remember, did we do your favorite?
I think so. I don't even remember what I said though. Good lord. I'm like
Probably.
I'm out in left field tonight. Sorry guys.
Fair enough.
Sounds good, my dear.
I honestly Elder Gargaroth, Mangara, Massacre Worm. I love them all.
Massacre Worm.
Oh, yeah, like
the alternate art Massacre Worm. When I saw that, another one in my head just went.
Oh, the big shining teeth, like the guy that's like that.
I picked that card up and had no home for it. I didn't have a deck that had black in it and had no home. But I picked it up. So I was like, this card is amazing, and then it needs to get a home. And honestly,
I'll make a deck.
Until this last set, until Commander Legends, it had no home. It just sat in my binder. Then Commander Legends came out and it finally had a home.
My real like top cards for this set would have to be like, because of Xyrus to Fury's Ageless Insight, being able to draw 2 cards for every 1 card. That's just so strong. And then Aura, like in the future sets, Veto, like there's little things like that make me look at what would be the stronger card, but like coming. The top card. I don't think you can beat the Teferi with being able to trigger it every single turn.
Yeah, Planeswalker instant speed is nuts.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yep.
Can I open Jumpstart, please?
Yes,
No.
but before we even get onto it, that's, by the way, that just is Hope talking about cards upstairs. She just loves Jumpstart.
I love Jumpstart so much.
We do still have 4 sets going, so we are probably going to split this one into 2, and I'll probably release the second one like Monday afternoon or something.
Sweet.
Yeah.
So
we'll
I just
do
want
a
everyone to know in
2 split.
advance. Yeah, but Hope, go ahead, talk to us about your set.
Before we go,
You're not Hope, Brian. Not Hope, Brian.
Nope. Before we go into Jumpstart, may we do a small prayer for the tiniest of leaders? And and we are done. Hope you can continue.
I don't know anything that just happened there, Brian, but I'm happy for you. You know what? He's doing just fine. So Jumpstart is my set. It is the set that I love. It is the set that I love the most. It is my favorite set in Magic so far. I love Jumpstart on a level that I cannot describe. If you want to hear about how much I love Jumpstart, go listen to our Jumpstart episodes. If you want to hear more about how much I love Jumpstart, I'll do another Jumpstart episode.
Go to our OnlyFans.
By yourself.
God, I love it so much. I will literally buy a box of Jumpstart and just play the whole thing. And
against herself.
No, I could play it at work.
So number one, Hope introed her Jumpstart stuff. I'm going to say this: amazing reprints. None of these are good enough to be considered reprints because of their allocation. They flat out just aren't really good. Like
I don't think like the Ristic Study reprint was meaningful.
Yeah, the same as like Craterhoof Behemoth, for instance. That was not a meaningful
Oracle
reprint.
of Moldiah, not meaningful. So that aside, there are a couple things that I want to touch on. One, the Phyrexian Swamp is the dopest thing I've ever seen in my life.
That is pretty dope.
2, the Thriving Lands are the best lands at their price point for
fixing.
Mana fixing. They're ridiculous. They're like 50 cents. They're free.
They are solid cards.
They're so good.
A very good budget option.
So good. And
talking about them as well. A really fun thing about them is they can give you access to I really like to play Send triplets, for instance, where I can play things from other people's decks and I need to generate mana of a different color. They are in your commander color identity, but give you access to things outside of it if for some reason you need it.
Yep. So there's nothing saying that it has to be within. Yeah, you can be playing a mono green deck and be like, screw it, I want access to black.
Yeah,
whatever.
if it's the red one, it just has to be in your commander identity and you're good to pick whatever you want.
Yeah. And I would say that like one card, if it had been more accessible, if there had been more of them, and if it wasn't 120 buckaroos, Allosaur Shepherd would have been format altering.
No, I believe it's the strongest card in the set.
It is by far the strongest card.
I actually think that it is in probably the top 5 strongest cards in the last 5 years.
It is ridiculous, but
it's real good.
It is so inaccessible that it has not really.
Yep.
I don't think it caused the splash that it could have and should have caused had it been more accessible. Had a coronavirus not been as big an issue and like had this not happen, like, and had Jumpstart been printed more and had there not been hiccups and had this, like, I think things could have been different.
I will flat out say, even if COVID hadn't happened, there just wasn't enough printing. All these sets keep being. It's
printed demand.
Exactly.
But it's not.
I repeat this point to everyone. Everyone's like, "Oh, it's printed demand and stuff." I'm like, "Okay, yes, but you're underestimating the demand for these cards. We're all animals."
Yeah.
The problem too is it wasn't designed for us.
No. It was. You guys are wrong.
No. Hold on. In the fact that they say it's print demand, the problem is this is for the Hope and Dan show up and are waiting for people to show up, buy 2 packs and play. It's kind of more designed for the casuals, but all of us.
Not Daniel. Daniel refuses. No. Daniel will not play Jumpstart.
It was an analogy, but us commander animals buy the shit out of it because there are too many cards in there that we want.
Let me tell you right now, nothing has tilted me more in my entire life than seeing people buy boxes of Jumpstart just to crack.
Hope made me play at least one game when I got my box.
Well, it's honestly it's
fun.
It's a bad investment. Like
you know what the good investment is, the playing of it. And then any cards that you get out of it that are good are a bonus.
But the problem is, how much is a box of this stuff in Moose books?
It depends. It was anywhere between $150 and $250.
Okay, so let's say it's $200 to buy a box. You will not make back $200 opening this box.
You won't guarantee. You're not guaranteed to come close to that.
Crack an Allosaurus Shepherd, and you will.
I'm like, you can, you can, or me. I've cracked 3 Allosaurus Shepherds, Tiny Boneses, Muxises. I've everything.
Can you open my box of Jumpstart?
Am I right?
No, but like you can make that money back on 2 cards. Like if you just get an Allosaurus Shepherd and Bruvac.
Yeah, but it's pretty.
But it's not.
My big gripe with the set: no foils.
I don't care.
Number one, a lot of people don't like the foils. That's fair.
Me.
The foils are curled and stuff like that.
It's the best
Ghoul Collar Gissa, love it beyond belief, and it's never been printed in foil, and I was so excited. And then they're just like, get wrecked. We're not putting it in foil.
Suck it.
You will never have this.
We're
in foil.
Wizards of the Coast. Learn to like it.
Yeah. We're not wizards of the convenience.
I didn't even know that they printed Kira the Great Glass Spinner again.
They sure did.
I didn't even see one. I never even saw one with the Jumpstart logo on it. Never. Not in my life.
Oh, I have.
I
definitely have. So, number one, I want to get into just some of the, I'm going to call them Jumpstart Commanders. That's what they're for.
Yeah.
They're Jumpstart Commanders. They're all super good, I think. I'm going to start Bruvac. Bruvac slaps.
He's will
just crazy
100%
good.
agree.
He is very strong. He's an advisor.
Do you want to play your deck?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
2 and a blue for a 1/4, which is a big body for a 2/3 or for a 3 mana in blue. If an opponent would mill 1 or more cards, they mill twice that many instead, and that is insane.
Yep.
Crazy.
Please mill 10 during your turn. Oh, please mill 20 at the end.
Oh yeah, it's Bruvac is one of the fastest mill deck. It's the first thing that I've seen that has made mill viable. Like, what are they going to do next? Make
Commander,
burn? Yeah.
Oh, I hope so.
Oh, doubled the burn damage at the end of turn.
Burn Mander?
Yep.
Triple.
I would lose my freaking mind.
Or what would it be?
Source.
Triple any red damage that would be dealt to target player at the end of turn. Oh.
If you made double red damage, you would have a burn commander.
Yep.
Lightning bolt for 6 mana.
Would you mind if I read off 2?
I would.
Commanders?
No, go ahead.
So one that's very special to my heart, because it came from Canada with love, because I could not get my hands on this, and I really wanted to build it, was Inaz the Gale Force. I
became friends.
It was Hope and Dan were nice enough to send me an Inaz the Gale Force, and I built my Bad Santa deck, and it's so much fun. But Inaz is 3 blue for legendary creature Jin 4/4, flying 2 Azorius or 2 hybrid white-blue. Attacking creatures with flying get +1/+1 until end of turn. Whenever 1 or more creatures you control with flying attack, each player gains control of a non-land permanent of your choice controlled by the player to the right.
Very cool card.
It's so cool. It was so unique. This is just like this is what I want Wizards to keep doing. If they did Jumpstart 2 Electric Boogaloo, I would be.
My God.
You know they will.
They will.
Yeah. So that was one card I was super excited about, because it was out of my wheelhouse as far as like colors I brew with on their own. And this other card was one of the first decks that I think I actually played on our channel, and that's Zerzoth Chaos Rider.
Oh,
I have this deck still built behind me. I haven't played it in a while, but it's 2 and a red for a legendary creature Devil 2/3. Whenever an opponent draws their first card each turn, if it's not their turn, you create a 1/1 red Devil creature token with, when this creature dies, it does 1 damage to any target. Whenever 1 or more devils you control attack 1 or more players, you and those players each draw a card, then discard a card at random. This deck is so much fun. It is so aggressive. It rebuilds so quickly, and you get so much card advantage. It's the stuff that you like seeing with goblins without the same goblin trope. It's just, God, I love playing this deck. Yeah, those are my 2 cards that, like, I was so hoping. I opened a Zerzoth, Zerzoth, Bruvac, and Inaz, and I was lucky enough to open Zerzoth and Bruvac, and my good friends sent me the other. The set was just cool. This was just 2 unique cards that just did it for me outside of my wheelhouse.
Big vibes.
Honestly, yeah, like all of the Emiel is a very cool one. I got that one for Hope. It's
finally, I'm so excited.
Unicorn.
Oh, you actually got one?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a legendary unicorn, a 4/4 for 4. For 3, exile another target creature you control, then return it to the battlefield under its owner's control. Whenever another creature enters, you may pay 1 either green or white. If you do put a 1/1 counter on it, if it's a unicorn, put 2 instead. It's just a really cool Blink commander. Blink is very, very fun for a lot of people. Counters in Selesnya are also very popular. Like I thought it was a really, really cool commander of it. You just saw so many good ones. Obviously, I love Tiny Bones.
Our Lord and Savior. Our Lord and Savior, Tiny Bones.
Tiny Bones, the replacement for Erebos.
Yes. I think Lord of my heart.
I've never seen a Tiny Bones deck played until I played against yours, Dan, and man, it is just insane. Especially with your card selection that you have access to.
Yeah.
Like I've also never seen a Chains of Mephistopheles like in person. Well, I guess not in person, but in a game.
But same vibe.
Until I played against your Tiny Bones deck, and that was so cool because once again, like seeing cards like that, amazing. But yeah, the stuff you can do with so many of these Jumpstart commanders, they did good for us. They really did.
Yeah. Oh, what were you saying there, Ren?
Oh, I said just Chains. What does that do? Like just the wording on it is so bizarre for what it actually does.
Yeah.
It's cancer.
Somebody come at me with an errata, please.
Kel's Fight Fixer was another very cool Jumpstart one.
Very cool.
And I believe you built that as well, right, Zach?
I did. It was Zombies Aristocrat deck and Demir, and man, that deck was dumb.
That's the first deck Zach beat me with ever.
Nice.
Yes. I was so proud because like Dan just like cleaned the floor with me, or well, with us as a group. I don't know how many weeks in a row, and finally, like Kel's Gray Merchant everyone to death.
Fix
and I was
the
like,
fights.
Oh, it did fix the fight.
I said okay.
Another one that I just cannot wait to build is Neath of the Dire Hunt.
Ooh,
That's such a cool card. The artwork, the artwork straight out. I just was in love with the art of it. Like the Jumpstart brought us a lot of really, really good new cards, and like we said, like quote unquote reprints. But like I would say the strongest ones were the Jumpmanders.
Yep.
Yeah. Muxus is insane.
Muxus is very cool. Neath, for anyone who doesn't know, it's whenever one or more creatures you control fight or become blocked, draw a card, which is also just silly. The fact that like blocking gets you card draw is nuts. You're green, it's what you do. You swing. At the beginning of combat on your turn, you can pay 2 and either red or green. If you do, double target creature's power until the end of the turn. That creature must be blocked this combat if able.
Does that card exist anywhere outside of Jumpstart?
Nope.
No.
It is the Jumpmander, and it's another one. Every one of the Jumpstart commanders is still pricey. I don't think any of the Jumpstart exclusive ones are cheap, with the exception of maybe Zurzov and like Ineas.
I think
Zurzov, Ineas, Kels, and aren't too bad.
Is Kels cheap? I thought
it's like $12.
Yeah, that's not really cheap for a pretty generic.
For a legendary creature.
Yeah, 12 is pretty high. That's not really mega budget.
I don't know. A unique legendary creature I don't think is
all the commanders I've built.
I'm just sad that it's not available in foil.
Like I traded for I think Bruvac with Dante, and I think we came to $75 trade.
Well, yeah, I guess when you look at it compared to Bruvac and
Bruvac.
Could you imagine though with this set's availability, if they would have made foils, what the foils would go for?
Oh, it would have been disgusting.
Break the bank.
Yeah, I guess this one's only $6 American.
Yeah, they're like not bad.
Like a foil Tiny Bones or a foil Allosaur Shepherd.
Oh, don't even talk about foil Tiny Bones.
Would be like $400, dude.
Probably.
Like maybe no question.
I'll pay the $250 for a foil Tiny Bones.
I would not. You couldn't pay.
Yeah, the fact that they reprinted Isamaru, Hound of Konda as a legendary, disrespectful.
Big disrespect, man.
Disrespectful to us as players.
Mm-hmm.
You know you'll still pay for it.
That was one of my big issues with this, is these packs had either so much value or so little value. And there was like some like that, the only rare in this, like for anyone who's never cracked Jumpstart, they're all in sealed packs that are a theme, and you can only get X rares in the themes. Like you can only get Crater Hoof in the Elves theme.
Yes.
So certain themes are more rare, but then some of the themes just have Gaunty. That's it. That's your rare. get wrecked.
Yeah.
Yeah, I opened
I have so many Gontis.
Enjoy your 20-cent rare.
I opened 6 packs of Jumpstart, and I don't think my combined value between all 6 packs were more than a single pack cost me.
Oh, don't get me wrong. There was some nuts cards. Like even Blessed Sanctuary is a very, very cool card. That's 3 white. Prevent all non-combat damage to be dealt to you and creatures you control. So super good for Firesong and Sunspeaker. And whenever a non-token enters the battlefield under control, crit a 2/2 white unicorn. It's ETB. It's protection. It's so good. Blasphemous Act me now.
Zach's favorite Magic card with Brass Donner.
Yeah, as long as I got Brass Donner out, I don't care.
Yeah, then you're good.
Or Stormwood or Stormwild Courier or Carpador or whatever. The Bird Goat. Love that guy.
Bird Goat.
I opened 4 packs the other day, and I opened this as a mythic, and I didn't even realize it was in the set, but it's Towering Titan, 4 green for giant. It's 0/0. When Towering Titan enters the battlefield, Towering Titan enters the battlefield with X+1/+1 counters on it, where X is the total toughness of other creatures you control. You can sack a creature with Defender. All creatures gain Trample until end of turn. Like, I didn't even realize this card was in the set, and it's now in my Scavengers deck because of what it does and the being able to recur and all that. But it sucks, like like we've talked about, the availability on these being near impossible to get, and there's just so many good cards, so many cool things, and it makes the feel bads, really
feel
bad.
worse. Yeah.
I personally thought the Towering Titan should have been like more into the legendary creature. Like it could have had its own cool space for it.
Also, real talk.
What one?
You can do it, Hope. We have faith in you.
Could you imagine if Towering Titan would have been green and then had an activated ability for the sack a creature?
Mm-hmm.
I remember what I was gonna say. Now that my brain rebooted, I was just gonna say with regards to the feel bads. I cannot tell you how many Speakers of the Heavens I have.
Oh, terrible card.
Every single time I open a ding dang doctor pack, I swear to God, it is so frustrating. At least give me the Rock's Faith Mender, for God's sakes. So annoying.
That's how I felt about Smashing. I can't tell you how many Volcanic Salvos I've opened.
Smashing a Legion, honey.
I honestly believe that Branching Evolution takes the strongest card in this set.
That's my favorite card.
That or Allosaurus Shepherd.
I forgot about that card.
Branching Evolution is my favorite one.
So good.
It's wonderful artwork. It's mini doubling season. If one or more 1/1 counters will be put on a creature you control, twice that many counters are put on it instead. That's really, really, really good. And that is not available enough. Like I said, I cannot explain how these cards all already need a reprint. And they were months ago?
Yeah. That's like my favorite thing about Branching Evolution is whenever we have one in the store, everyone's like, oh, what does it do? And I'm just like, it's Jumpstart doubling season. I'm like, and they're like, excuse me? And I'm like, hell yeah, that's the best.
Getting a Sylvala, getting a Sheoldred, like you definitely had some really, really good
My
cards
favorite
to
thing
pick
about
up.
getting the Sheoldred is that it meant that I got the swamp.
Yeah.
I don't care about the Sheoldred.
So the one card that I didn't actually realize that they reprinted in Jumpstart was Black Market.
Yep, Black Market's a great reprint.
Yeah.
Very good.
Such a good card.
Yeah, I didn't notice that.
Is
so I'm
someone
just looking
shaking
through it.
dice or shuffling something?
What's happening?
Hand check.
If someone is doing it, please.
Stop eating corn nuts.
But yeah, like a lot of these cards, I'm very like, yes, they need a reprint, like the ones that are Jumpstart specific, just like the free spells from Ikoria or the Commander 20 decks. But because like you need to have them in just a regular standard set, but I'm really happy that a lot of them got reprinted. I would say my most powerful card for this set would probably be Bruvac, because A, I love Mill, and B, I love Mill.
You guys, your favorite thoughts? Hope's taking a second. You guys, do you have a favorite card of the set? Also, Maelstrom Archangel should be legendary. I'm just gonna say it.
Yes, I would agree.
I would probably say Allosaurus Shepherd, being that we've ventured into the tiny leaders world, and I decided to play elves. That card is Berserk.
Yep.
Well, it's a 1 green and
Berserker.
green spells can't be countered, right?
And I think
but
it
then
also
it turns everything into 5/5 dinosaur elves.
It's a real good mana sink.
Yeah.
It rules. My favorite's Branching Evolution. I already said. Love it.
Yeah.
1/1 counter queen. What more do I have to tell you?
I
Zach?
also really like. Oh, sorry. I also really like Emil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say the most powerful card, definitely Branching Evolution. I was super excited to open that. And my favorite card is somewhere between Zerzoth and Inaz. Like I said, Zerzoth, I was super hyped to open that. It's my first mono red deck. And then you guys, like, getting Inaz was just, it meant so much to me. Like, I couldn't get access to it. No one had it. You guys were nice enough to send it to me. And
You're
it just made
welcome.
me feel it just made me feel special, you know?
We didn't even know you also. It's just like, you know what? He seems fine. He seems like a nice guy.
That's how we lured him in.
Yeah.
And that's well, that's what I'm
It
saying.
didn't cost you anything except for every Saturday of your life.
Look, outside of spending time with my family,
I was gonna say your
You got-
son gets married. No,
not on a
not
Saturday.
on a Saturday.
But like seriously though, like Jumpstart was a very like the set itself was good, but as being as sappy as I am, like it meant a lot more because I got to share it with you guys.
Aw.
So Zerzoth or Inaz, you can take in whichever.
Did we not
Ooh.
mention our Lord and Savior?
Tiny Bones? We talked about Tiny Bones.
We talked
Okay.
about Tiny Bones.
I
Brian,
must
you're
have
just
missed
on
that.
sauce.
Yeah,
We're not
I'm
going to
gonna
spend. We're not going to spend too much time on the next set, Double Masters. It's all reprints.
Hold
Yeah, I
on,
think
have
we
to talk
could-
about-
Oh, one sec, Brian. Go ahead.
I was going to say we have to talk about one card.
Okay.
Toxic Deluge. I'm done.
Oh. Is that in this one or was that?
That's
Double-
Double Masters.
It's Double Masters.
Yeah, we haven't even started Double Masters. I'm just saying we're just going to quickly talk about some of the things in Double Masters. So
Yeah.
number one, before we even start into it, the value in Double Masters is nuts. I'm looking at the estimated value of the set. It's $2,355. So
Mhm.
there was value in it. Number one, I didn't really buy a lot of Double Masters.
Buy any Double Masters.
That's true. The whole reason, none
That's
is
not
none
a
is
lot.
Yeah. So if you had a very large collection, Double Masters really wasn't for you. Like it had very cool things in it.
It's not even about size. I would say if you have like
A valuable collection.
yes.
Okay. So that being said, this was the set that made it the most accessible I have ever seen for people to get into Commander and to build up high value cards.
Yep.
No one in a casual mid-tier like that just likes to play Magic with their friends is generally going out and buying Force of Wills.
They reprinted Force of Will, Mana Crypt, and all the sorts.
Yep. Well, exactly. The fact that they brought a price on Atraxa down and gave us a cool new artwork on it.
And Jace the Mind Sculptor, like there's just like high end cards
Oh.
printed everywhere. Just
Stone
like,
Forge
oh,
Mystic.
Chrome
you
Mox
want
double
high end
season.
cards?
Oh.
Beep, 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 beep.
So
Got it.
the thing that made me, and this is my pick for the set. The thing that made me so happy was Dark Confidant. I've wanted a Dark Confidant for so long, but I just argued with myself on the price because I was just like, I just can't justify it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You can't justify the high cost for some of these cards. Before this, Blightsteel Colossus was $95.
Yeah, that was my favorite, my absolute favorite thing. I was in a financial situation where I could not afford, and I didn't think it was reasonable to buy boxes of Double Masters. I just couldn't. But my cousin, on the other hand, went ham, and I got so many cards because like the price dropped insane.
Yeah.
And the box toppers, like the 2 box toppers we could get, Court of Calling and Wrath, or not Wrath,
But
but
the buy
Go for it,
boxes.
go.
Oh yeah.
Honey.
Sorry.
Stop with that.
What? What?
What?
That
Or-
was the box toppers, Brian.
Not box
Oh,
toppers,
oh,
buy
oh,
boxes.
Buy box, sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I didn't
it
even
was-
know about this. I
and it
was
was with-
not aware.
and it was with new art. I think I have it over
Yeah,
here.
you double masters, you get double the buy boxes. You got a Court of Calling and you got a Wrath of God.
Mm-hmm.
I
The
feel-
Wrath God's real cool.
I feel
This
bad.
is
I didn't
another-
get any of this.
This was
Wasn't
the
there
Court of
another
Calling.
promo for this set too?
What was that?
Wasn't there a third promo for this set?
Nope.
Not that
You
I'm
got
aware of.
you got the 2 buy a box and then you got 2 box toppers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just for some reason I thought there was another buy a box promo for this set.
No.
Whatever,
Another
they
thing
were
I'm
still amazing.
Another thing that made this set super like insane was a lot of downshifts for rarity.
Mhm.
like that made things once again so much more accessible, and that's what we want to see. Like as Commander players, I want everyone to have access to literally everything under the sun, and that
Yeah,
means
exactly.
if that means taking Auriok Salvengers and moving it down from a rare to an uncommon, please do that forever. Like where it's reasonable, obviously. But
I don't even think I know that card.
It's a cool card.
It's
combo one, yeah. It's you can pay 2 mana and bring an artifact from your graveyard back to play.
Use it with
or to play or to hand.
What?
It's
to hand. It's to hand. From graveyard to your hand.
Yeah.
I thought.
So it's part of what's called the Bomberman combo, where you do this in Lion Eye Diamond.
You definitely do. You definitely do.
I'm pretty sure you Bomberman does. Oh, Oubliette.
Definitely did.
Doesn't sound like me. I haven't heard that name in years.
Oubliette being reprinted finally was insane.
Yep.
Phasing. So cool.
They brought, like I said, I didn't get super into this, but short of Muldrotha, they printed some of the strongest and most popular commanders in the set. Kalia coming back was like, Kalia was a pricey card again. So was Atraxa. Like Atraxa was what, $60-$70? Because everyone wants to super. Yeah. Oh yeah, exactly. Risk the Redeemed. Send triplets again. Riku was another very cool one.
Riku was so dope.
Blood Moon.
The fact that they didn't give Riku his own alternate artwork, criminal.
Yeah, that is a crime.
Criminal.
Karthus, I didn't know this either, but Karthus Tyrant of Jund was also an expensive card before this set.
Yep.
Because it was not around.
Yep. Mazarek also was only printed in 2 commander sets, and one was like a commander anthology, I believe. It was expensive. Like it was in the teens or 20s before this reprint. Like
another great value reprint was Imperial Recruiter.
Yes.
That 100%. Was nowhere.
Yeah, I was very surprised by that.
Geist was another cool one. Then you had Darksteel Forge. Like you had just a ton of super high value.
Let's not forget Mr. Freeze himself.
I was just about to say they murdered the artwork of Karn. I don't know. Like I feel bad. Like I first off, let me get this out of the blue. I can barely print my name legibly.
Yeah.
And I am certain I could draw Karn better than this.
I am certain you couldn't.
I'm willing to try. I don't know what
so doofy.
The best meme card.
Best meme card 2020. Don't at me. But
I really liked it.
I love having all the Urza lands, also like the Tron lands. Get out of my house. I was so stoked about that.
This was the set that brought down the price the most out of any set I've seen. It made a lot of things that just were not accessible to new players. And if you were getting into Commander at the time, you were able to just get so much value out of these boxes. Like I didn't see any boxes that were busts, and I saw a lot of boxes.
So I remember I cracked a box, and before the box topper, the value of my box I was losing by about $50. Then I opened up a Force of Will, and it was like doubled my value.
Right.
One of my favorite things to see reprinted too was the filter lands. I used to always want to run these lands, but once again, I could not justify the price, right? And boom, here they are. And I don't know how much they've went up since, but I bought all the Esper ones, I don't know, a month ago, and they were $6 each. I think Sunken Ruins. I think Sunken Ruins might have been 10 US.
In Moose money, none of them are more than $10 right now.
I have to say,
you also hit Lightning Greaves and stuff, and
what Path? Not swords, but Path. That's a big thing. Pongify, like.
Yep. I have to say the Cyclonic Rift reprint with the alt art. Mwah.
Oh, and let's also talk about those collector boosters with the full art lands. Those, a lot of people went nuts over how nice some of those full art basics were.
Yeah, they were beautiful.
Like there was a lot of really, really cool things you got in this. You didn't need to buy the collectors, but there was something for, like I said, if you had a big collection, this wasn't really, or a valuable collection, this wasn't super for you. Like I've got play sets of lots of swords and stuff. I'm not super interested in cracking swords, but you flex this Sword of Feast and Famine like box topper at me, and you
Sword of Fire and Ice.
You have my attention.
Holy moly!
Yeah. Fire and Ice was insane looking.
Oh.
Mana Echoes, land tax, like this set was just chock full of value.
Land tax. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Exploration and
exploration and doubling season.
And their
attack.
alternate arts were just
Oh, buddy, don't get me started on the double season art. Oh, I love my baby twin dinos. Give me that art all day long.
My favorite thing all the time is seeing how many of us have that playmat.
Hate it.
I really love
that. Like,
whoa, Hope. Excuse me.
FLGS does not get those playmats.
I really love the council judgments. I know you guys hate it, but I really like the alt art a lot.
Love it.
Oh, I think it looks dope.
I bought one last week.
I thought you guys didn't like it as like your box topper.
Oh,
yeah, because it's no value. So it's just a feel bad.
I was one of those guys that was like, man, whatever I got's whatever I got. I'm just excited. Like even if I would have got Brainstorm or.
Honey, I didn't buy any boxes of Double Masters, so like I didn't care about it. I just mean like in general, like if you get a $10 box topper versus a $300 box topper, it's kind of a feel bad.
Yep.
I guess like how I looked at it was like,
if my box topper is worth less than some of my rares, that's annoying.
I was gonna say a lot of my friends I opened boxes with, and the opening these packs were insane. So to see some of these, like I get it, but when you open like an Atraxa, a Fire and Ice, and a Mana Drain, and then you get like a crop rotation, can you really be upset?
I got the crop rotation box topper.
I love the crop rotation, by the way. I think it's so dope. I adore it.
The reflection cycle reprint, amazing.
Yeah.
Mana reflection, boon reflection, wound, etc. They were so good, so welcome. I was talking before about how Jumpstart, there was a lot of feel bad packs. Your packs sucked or they were really good, and there was pretty much no in between. There wasn't very many. It's okay, right? To the point where in Jumpstart, where you see some of the themes, you're just like, it feels bad, right?
Whereas with Double Master, it's like
with this, opposite. 2 rares in a pack and stuff, you didn't have many feel bad packs.
Minimum of 2 rares.
Minimum of 2 rares, yes. Oh yeah, you could also get the foil. Yeah, like there was just a ton of potential, and I think Double Masters is some of the happiest I've seen people opening. Happiest I've seen is Commander Legends. People love that. Yeah. We're gonna get to that. Commander Legends is bonkers.
My only complaint about this entire set, Swiftblade Vindicator should not been in the set as a rare or something.
Gross.
That was my feel bad. Like when I did have the money to buy packs and I did crack it and it was a Swiftblade, I was just upset. That's my only complaint.
Yeah, since these are all reprints, I don't think we need to touch on what's the strongest of them. Like there's something for everyone in here.
Blightsteel
This was the only set that I fell down a rabbit hole of opening collector pack. It's the only set that's ever
It's fair.
I think when was it this set the first one that we started opening with ogres? And I think
we've been cracking for ages.
I think I saw the video of you post
Theros, buddy.
Yeah, like opening up these and like you were super stoked, like that.
Yeah, they were very fun. Now let's get into nonsense set.
Zendikar Rising.
Zendikar Rising.
Nonsense set.
The Scooty McBooty.
This set is so good. So number one, this is going to be a very, very hard set to say what the best is because it introduced such a unique mechanic of the flip lands. The Modal land cards are so cool. The pathways are so cool. But just the mythic versions of the lands, the new Bolt land styles, they just bring so much to the deck. An answer where you have a tap land at worst and a spell at best is a really, really game-changing mechanic.
It also has objectively my favorite comment of the entire year. Zach knows.
Mm-hmm.
Well, tell us what it is.
It's Feed the Swarm.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
Right?
I'm gonna go out there and just put this out there before we even start. Agadeem's Awakening is the best card in the set.
I'm not as big of a fan on it, but it is a good card.
So there's Zendikar. There's Feed the Swarm as my top card. Agadeem's Awakening is definitely up there, but Feed the Swarm is just so much more needed. I hate saying that, but
my second
Sorry, go ahead, though.
No, I'm sorry. I was gonna say my second favorite card in this entire set because Feed the Swarm is the best. But my second favorite is far and above Lithiform Engine.
Mm-hmm.
Card's cool.
Oh,
the only thing that I struggled with the Lithiform was I was like, this can go in anything. what should I put it in?
Yeah.
And that was my issue. I was like, I can put it literally anywhere and it will just make my deck better.
Actually, I have one, and and it's not even in any of my decks. I think the card's amazing, but I don't know what to do with it.
I put mine in Narset.
I mean, that seems bonkers in Narset.
I think that
double trigger, double spells if you need it.
There's the one card that I think that we came up with a better name for than what
Land Harmonicon.
Yeah.
I think it is
Harmonicon.
It was
Ancient Green Warden, which I need so many of, and you can't find. Again,
you're welcome.
Commander players are animal. Yeah, Brian just picked me up some because Brian's a savior.
You're welcome.
It is a 5/7 with reach for 6 mana. Great stats on an elemental body. You can play lands from your graveyard. That would be good enough to play. I would run it just for that. If a land entering the battlefield causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, triggers an additional time. Well, that's interesting. Interesting card to say the least.
For 4 and 2 green.
I was probably the most excited about that. On its spoiling, I'm still probably the most excited about that in the set. There's just a ton of great cards in the set, but that one, to me, takes the cake as one of the strongest cards printed. I buy every Panharmonicon I see, and I will also buy every Land Harmonicon I see because I just really like Landfall. I may have mentioned it.
One that I think is also like one that should be a commander staple, but people don't play enough, I think, is Skyclave Relic.
That is a very good card.
That's the kicker, Darksteel Ingot.
Yeah, 3. At worst, it's a 3 mana, like you said. It's a Darksteel Ingot.
Yeah, at worst.
And at best, it is 3 Darksteel Ingots.
That can also block.
I think a card.
What do you mean they can block?
They're creatures.
No, they're not.
No.
Crazy.
No, they're just tokens.
What's up, guys? I'm on drugs.
If they were, that would be nuts.
The brain.
Please share.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing, boys. I'm stupid.
So I want to get it. I want to go on a little bit because I really, really like this card too. Angel of Destiny. It's 3 white for just a very unique card. I really, really like it, and I just think overall my brain has stopped because Hope's leaning on the microphone and won't stop for some reason.
It's my pillow.
Okay. Don't. From a production standpoint, please don't. If it's flying double strike 2/6. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, you and that player each gain that much life. So it's very cool.
And what is
Still
it?
kill people with it. It's an Angel Cleric. Yes.
There we go. Thank you.
Brian just is very on the clerics. At the beginning of your end step, if you have at least 15 more life than your starting life total, each player that attacked this game loses the game. Is really good.
It's super
really good card. It's a very unique, different win con. It's very cool player removal because you don't have to actually kill them. You just have to swing at them, and it end step triggers is nuts. I can't say enough good things about that card. I think it was a really, really cool design. I love alternate win condition.
Another card. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Ryan.
Oh, I was going to say a card that I absolutely love with. Every time it hits the battlefield, it goes off. Is Morog, Fury of Akun.
Oh, you beat me to it. He was on my list here.
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
No. You started this. You finish it.
I have him in my Lands Matters deck, and the card just goes off.
I'm tired of getting my butt whooped by Han with this card.
He just killed us today.
Yeah, he killed us again with it today.
He's the only Minotaur that matters.
Entirely valid.
I can agree with that. Minotaur is not a good travel. It needs love.
Throne.
Yeah, Sethron for what? Your other not good Minotaurs?
The rest are garbage. It's this guy and this guy only.
Oh, you made me laugh for reasons I will not share.
I know the reason, Brian, and I stand by it.
So I'll talk about another one of my favorite cards from the set. That's Nighthawk Scavenger.
Goyfog. Yeah, again we came up with a better name for this card than what they did.
I remember getting you guys letting me explain this card. I was just so excited. It's so good. Nighthawk Scavenger is 1 black for a vampire rogue. It's 1+*3. It has flying, death touch, lifelink, and Nighthawk Scavenger's power and toughness equal to 1 plus a number of card types among cards in your opponent's graveyards.
Yeah, it's it's methamphetamine Vampire Nighthawk.
And Vampire Nighthawk has been one of my
Hey,
favorite creatures for so
didn't
long.
methamphetamine crab come out in the same set?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All these.
Here's the thing.
Hedron crab with a strict upgrade.
We made Mill good, but we gave you the ultimate Mill commander, and now we're gonna give you Hedron crab number 2,
Electric Boogaloo.
Electric Boogaloo,
Oh,
and we're also
sorry.
yes.
I was gonna say we also gave Scoot Mob 2.0.
Scoot Swarm?
Yeah.
Methamphetamine
Boots,
Scoot.
Boots, Scoot, and Boogie.
Scoot Swarm, for anyone who's not aware, is very, very good token creation. It is 2 and a green for a 1/1 insect. Whenever land enters the battlefield under your control, create a 1/1 green insect. If you control 6 or more lands, though, you create a token that's a copy of Scoot Swarm instead.
And then they create copies of each other exponentially. It's disgusting.
Yeah, they're bonkers.
So-
Do you know
Yeah,
what?
it's pretty
I keep
ridiculous.
thinking of like the movie Evolution, where they're looking through the magnifying glass, and it's just like, and it just keeps
Sure.
going.
Can you do that again, Brian?
Ah, yes, a reference everybody is familiar with.
No, okay, so I take it you're not a movie buff like I am, but this is
okay. A buff, you say? I'm sorry, I'm not as cultured as you are, Brian.
Talking about evolution
yeah.
of all movies.
Omnoth was another card that came out in this set. Obviously, we keep talking
the
about
creation.
Omnoth in the river, in the mountains. There's
Ascended
a lot of
Omnath.
Omnoths, but yeah, locus of creation. So it is red, green, white, blue for an elemental 4/4. I blew this card off as I was like, it's okay, but it's not that great. I was wrong. It is that great. You should make an Omnoth deck. It's super fun.
It's awesome.
Super fun. So number 1,
Awesome.
when it enters, you draw a card. That's already pretty cool. Landfall. Whenever it enters the battlefield under your control, you gain 4 life if it's the first time it's resolved. If it's the second time it's resolved, you get his colors and mana. So a red, green, white, blue. And if it's a third time, 4 damage to each planeswalker, each opponent, each planeswalker you don't control. No one cares about that ability. It's okay if someone's playing super friends like Hope's an animal. And the 4 life gain on a landfall is really good, but it's that second ability that is just the sweetest candy in the world.
4 mana
You
for
sit
free.
Yeah. Well, 4 mana for you evolving wilds, and then you tempt with discovery with free mana. Yeah. Yeah, it's really, really good. It just I know it sounds silly to say out loud, but just the ramp implications of 4 free mana is real strong.
I would love 4 free mana
4
every
free
single
colored
turn.
mana.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really true too. 4 free colored mana.
Yeah, 4 free colorless mana is not that good. So
What do you mean not that good? That would still be sweet.
It would be okay, but it wouldn't be as good as 4
There's
of
rules.
the colors. Yeah.
Another card that's like, oh, sorry. Do you have more to say about Amnam?
I have definitely more to say about
Amnam?
Omnoth, yes.
Go ahead.
Omnoth was banned in Standard for just entirely ruining Standard. Again, they are not making these sets for Commander. They have set that format on fire. Yeah, no, they are not making it for Standard.
You said for Commander.
Yeah, for Commander, yes, they are.
I'm like,
Well, I was wrong. They're definitely making it for Commander.
Are you on to your second drink at least, Dan?
No, I'm still on my big old jug of rum drink. They have basically set the vehicle that is Standard on fire and then driven it 100 miles an hour across a cliff. And I know that we don't really understand miles. We're Canucks, but it's fast. Hope apparently doesn't like that joke because she understands miles.
I didn't think it was that funny. No,
that was pretty funny.
I
So
was good.
I want to talk about another legendary creature. This one,
Stuck-ups.
one's for Brian, but I'm gonna do this one. It's Phylath World Sculptor.
Yeah.
Or red green.
So good.
For legendary creature elemental 5/5. When Phylath's World Sculptor ETBs, you create a 0/1 green plant creature token for each basic land you control. It has landfall. Whenever a land ETBs under your control, put 4 +1/+1 counters on target plant you control. This is the only landfall deck that I have, and it is stupid. This deck is so much fun. It does so many weird things, and just having a different version of Avenger of Zendikar that people just write off oh yeah, it's okay. I've done so much damage with plant tokens. It's nuts. This card is so cool.
I think since you brought up that one, You built this deck, but I'm gonna talk about the commander. Is Aura the Skyclave Hierophant, which is
Brian loves it.
2 in Orzhov. I love clerics. When I first started really playing like Magic, like following the sets and everything like that, clerics were a huge part of it. And I had this like, to me personally, like having a cleric deck where I was able to tap one creature and prevent like 20 damage was absolutely amazing. And being able to do that again in Aura, like, yes, I love it. I can gain life. I can prevent the damage. I can be annoying in that you can't hurt me.
Well, what does Aura do?
So Aura, 2 in Orzhov, core cleric, lifelink. It's a 3/3. And whenever a cleric, whenever Aura, Skyclave Hierophant, or another cleric you control dies, return target cleric card with like I'm like on an angle here.
She sells by the seashore.
Yeah, exactly. So return a target cleric card with lesser converted mana cost from your graveyard to the battlefield.
And what kind of deck is this, Brian?
It is a cleric deck. I was gonna say obviously, but like cleric tribal is the best way to run this.
It's an aristocrat style deck.
Yep.
Word for the night, aristocrat.
Yes, aristocrat.
This is great. This was great too because this was another card that we were guaranteed to get if you bought a box. Like in they went back to doing
this is the way that I like it. Yeah.
Yeah, they went back to doing the cool thing, and we talked about this on our episode. Was that it's just new art for a card in the set. We aren't doing the whole like, this card is only obtainable from buying a box. No, this card you can get with this art, but you can still get it in the set. And that's what I really hope Wizards continues to do.
No,
we don't go back to this whole...
You could buy a box and get a full art foil version of him.
I prefer that method.
I hope we stick back to doing this.
Give me a box topper that looks different than the card inside the box, but make the card inside the box as well.
I want to buy a box that is in the set, but I want a box topper that is something wild. Ergo, the expeditions.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. That they were the expedition silly good lands. That
were they in this?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
This
scrolling down.
I didn't even get any of these. I'll be honest.
I do want to say one of the things
I didn't get
talking about the alternate arts. The for Christmas I got, what was it, Hope? The collector gift pack or whatever?
The gift edition fat pack.
Explain what it is.
So it's a normal fat pack, but you get all foil basic lands. You get an alternate art card in foil. The box is foil, and you get a bunch of normal boosters, but normal draft boosters. But you also get a collector booster.
Definitely a very valuable.
And it's only like $15 more than a normal fat pack. I don't know why I'm trying to sell it to you, but like it's only $15 more than a normal fat pack, but a collector booster is $35. So it's like you kind of get a collector booster for like $15. So it just makes sense.
It's wicked. But the alternate art that it comes with is Fat Daddy. It's Charix.
Fat Daddy.
Yeah, Charix the Raging Isle. And it's, first off, it's a way better artwork.
Crab Daddy.
But it's also 2 blue for a 0/17 because that needed to be a thing. Spells your opponents cast that target Fat Daddy. Cost 2 more to cast. And then for 3, he gets +X -X until end of turn, where X is the number of islands you control, which can just get out of control. Like I love this card. I love Fat Daddy. He's cool.
We didn't even talk about Hope's Demise, the one that has a host's name in it. Tabrax.
Is it a demon?
Yep.
It is.
Yo, that's so my vibe.
So it's a demon cleric.
Of course it is.
Yeah, but
Brian's too hype on clerics, to be honest.
No, but every time I see this, I was like, oh, poor Hope. Like Tabrax is out for just.
I know. I literally that's the only reason I even give this card like the time of day. I'm like, I just
because it has your name in it.
Yeah.
Very.
When your name is a word.
Right.
I was super judgmental when we were covering spoilers on this set because I felt Tazri sucked. That's just my.
You suck.
That's just my straight out opinion. I didn't like it. I didn't like the party mechanic. I was like, this is bunk.
Party on, Wayne.
And then Zach made a party deck, and I thought it was really, really cool.
It's pretty fun.
And Zach's brewing single-handedly convinced me that party wasn't a trash garbage mechanic for trash people.
Zach, I'm right there with you. I also made a party deck, not for me, but I did for work, and I'm just like, party is fun. It's just fun.
I think Zach's
Zach, you can explain
have...
what party is because you changed my mind.
Before he gets into that, I think that Zach has made you change your mind on a few things now.
Nope. Still straight.
But we're working on it, baby.
You know, I bought this new hat and I'm growing this like facial hair. I thought Brian would be like, "What's up?"
I think you're looking extra cute, honey.
All right, Zach, what is party?
So party, it's going to affect different things, but basically it's looking to see what creature types you have between, wizard, cleric, rogue, warrior.
That's it.
And wizard. Oh, no, I said wizard already.
Wizard.
Wizard twice.
And also clerics.
Wizard, warrior, cleric,
and wizards.
Rogue. Okay. But
There's
so
just
basically, yeah. So basically it's checking to see if you have those creature types on the battlefield under your control, and then it gives you some kind of benefit, whether it be reducing the cost of the spell or adding to it in some way. So that's all party is. It's just checking to see if you have a party.
Yeah, just a cool group.
Let's have a party.
I do think that you're going to see a lot of these party cards with a big old spike in the D&D set coming out. Obviously,
yes.
They're going to be like classing, and as Zach has said, multi-classing, yada, yada, yada.
This
I cannot wait.
This was dipping the toe into the D&D set. That's what that was.
I love me some D&D.
Daniel loves some Forgotten Realms. Y'all nerds are going to go off.
Depending on the cards printed, I might go too hard.
Yeah.
Nerds.
If they don't print Drist, I will riot. I will
freaking
be
nerds
banging on Watsy's doors.
Me and Ryan were talking about it. If they print some Elminster stuff, buddy, you've got my money. You've sold me.
Hell yes.
Can I direct deposit my paycheck to Wizards of the Coast?
I'll open up a distributor account.
I want Elithids. I want Beholders. I want
Turtles.
I want Dark Elves too.
Yes.
Bring me that sweet Golgari Elves.
You mean Drows?
Yes.
Yeah. Dark Elves, same thing.
Drows?
I can keep on going. Brewer,
They're going to name them Drow Elves.
Caddy Bree.
Yep.
So
whole lot of really, really good equipments. Yeah. Also, before we go on, they have so much opportunity to print another cycle of really cool gods. And people really like the gods. And I called it for Kaldheim in our Kaldheim spoiler episode when they said that that's what they were going to be printing. This was months ago when they did the release schedule. I said they're making another cycle of gods because people love it, and they made
Norse
the flip gods.
Yeah.
Norse gods were needed for that.
If they make the Drow god, I lose my mind.
Oh yeah, if they make they're gonna there's such a good opportunity to make. Or if you don't know the Forgotten Realms thing, just go down a real rabbit hole of spending hundreds of hours reading because it's a big series.
Buy the first Drist book and you'll be lost forever.
Yep.
So help me God, if they make a Soth, oh man, I will lose my everything. I love I love Death Knights, and Soth is the Death Knight.
Yeah, like I said, there's so much potential in that set. If that set lets me down, I don't know.
I don't know.
I was gonna say some things I shouldn't say. So
you guys, with the last few minutes, have proved to me that you're more nerds than I am.
Yeah, up your D&D game, Brian.
Start reading books, Brian.
Yep, Brian.
Get book learning, Brian.
Be a bigger nerd, Brian.
Oh, here we go.
He just quit the podcast.
We're anti-bullying Brian for not being enough of a nerd. He only plays D&D twice a week.
And yet, I play it once every 6 weeks, and then not.
Which is still more than you guys.
I don't have time in my life for D&D. Don't even at me.
Yeah,
if you want to borrow my Audible, Brian, you can start reading about Soth. I got 2 books that I think you would love.
How do you get sponsored by Audible?
Audible sponsors.
DM us.
Amazon.
I would freak out. I love it.
I would get an Audible subscription just to pay to hear drunk Brian read books.
It's worth every penny.
I would buy it for sure.
Plus Audible.
There's another Zendikar Rising card I want to talk about because this card's amazing. Valakut Exploration.
Oh, that was a good one.
2 colorless and a red for an enchantment, and has landfall. Whenever land enters the battlefield under your control, exile the top card of your library, and you can play it for as long as it remains exiled. And at the beginning of your end step, if there are cards exiled, put them in your graveyard, and it deals that much damage to each opponent.
And this one had awesome alt art too.
Oh, it's all art. It's
all of it. All of them were awesome. Let's just be real.
Honestly, a commander that I've always thought was really interesting, but I don't know if there's enough support for it yet, is the Verazal. I really, really want to see a Verazal deck. If someone has like a cool Verazal deck in mind where it's all about kicked spells and copied, I would really like to see it. Oh, well, send me the list. I want to see it.
I think
I thought it's really cool.
Skyclave Apparition is also amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, one of my favorites that we still haven't touched on also is Con.
Which one?
Confounding Conundrum.
Oh, yeah. Don't say weird words, Hope. Don't come in with that negativity.
That's the only way that I could remember it. I was like, Con. But it's so good. It's a 2-drop. It's a 1 and a blue for an enchantment. It's when it enters the battlefield, draw a card. Love that. And when a land enters the battlefield under an opponent's control, if that player had another land enter, they return a land to their hand.
It's a really good way to upset me.
You might get your landfall triggers off, but you're going to do it anyways, but you're certainly not ramping.
Yeah. I was also super excited for Grakmaw, but that's because I'm an animal with Tayam.
That's true.
Grakmaw is just a really cool card. It is 1 black-green for a 0/0. He enters with 3/1 counters on him. When another creature you control dies, if it had a 1/1 counter on it, put a 1/1 counter on Grakmaw. Super cool. And when Grakmaw dies, create an XX black and green Hydra, where X is the number of 1/1 counters on Grakmaw.
I'm gonna have to call.
How many more times can you say Grakmaw?
Grakmaw.
Grakmaw.
I should call my Grakmaw.
So I'm gonna call out this one, Daniel, because this is you bought a print of it. I don't believe we've talked about it.
Oh, Tangled Floral Hedron.
It's your son.
Yeah,
I love the artwork of Tangled Floral Hedron, both sides.
I had to say it.
Khazad-dû Necropod, super cool artwork.
Khazad-dû Necropod is my favorite in the whole set. He's got a little butt.
You like big booty insects?
He's got a big butt and he cannot
Honestly,
lie.
both of them are really cool looking. Also, I'm just looking at that Whirlpool Island, very cool.
Oh,
that card is amazing.
And the green looking swamp. The one that reminds me of a Golgari swamp.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, honestly, this set was full of cool cards. I always loved the full art cards. Everyone likes to bling their deck out with the nice full arts. Like, you can't play an Omnath deck with just normal basic lands. They have to be full art.
I got attacked.
Or they take your deck away.
I got attacked at work. They were talking, a couple customers and one of my coworkers were talking about how if you're playing a commander deck, you should have at least matching lands. And I was just
no way.
I'm like, here's the thing that I do. I'm like, I've got a full art. I've got a full art from Zendikar. I've got a full art from Hour of Devastation. I've got basic lands from every set under the sun, and none of them match, and half of them are super, super heavily played. And I just grab a stack of lands and pray to God.
Yeah, all matching lands, I don't know. I know a lot of people like it. I couldn't do it. I have too many lands to try that out.
That's what I'm saying.
With
I literally am currently out of forests.
Oh, we're always out of forests.
Oh, I got you.
Hook us up.
Yeah, I got you.
Hook
But I have to
us
say, Hope here hooked me up with multiple foil full art lands.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe neither Brian nor Hope has talked about Felidar Retreat.
Yeah, that's a pretty cool card.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's
pretty sweet.
I feel
we both have
like
cats.
I feel like we could probably keep talking about this set a little bit more now that we've really got to experience it with other cards. But do we want to move to Legend?
No, we're not even going to do Legends, to be
honest.
Here's
the thing with Legends. Okay. We have lots to talk about with Legends, but we also just talked about it.
Yeah, we just did Legends. You guys get what's going on. Well, you know what? I'll let everyone choose 3 cards from Legends.
Great.
I was going to say
yeah, I stopped the recording.
Thank you, Master.
Well, thank you.
I have the power here. I can mute you all.
Do it, I dare you.
Dan, I don't even 3 cards from Commander Legends.
Yeah, let's get into Commander Legends, I guess, with the last quick thing.
I have my favorites right off the top of my head.
Go.
All right, Jessica, Kamal.
Yeah, what do they do?
That's it.
That's it. Just Jessica and Kamal.
Jessica and Kamal. I like the flavor. I'm into it. Next, go.
Okay, tell us what they do.
Have some favorite things. Oh wait, before we even get there, strongest card from Zendikar Rising. Go.
Scooty McBooty.
Agadeem's Awakening.
I think all of the pathways.
Yo, for me, flat out, Green Warden.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Forsaken Monument, maybe?
Ooh, and Lithiform Engine.
Lithiform Engine is probably one of the better cards actually printed. I will change mine to, no matter how much I like Land Harmonicon, Lithiform Engine.
Oh my god, why are you so obsessed with me? Stop copying me.
You all are entitled to your opinions, but know that they're wrong.
It's okay for you to like need that kind of validation, Ryan, but like you're also definitely wrong. Feed the swarm, am I right, Zach?
It might be my senile old age.
Feed the swarm.
Feed the swarm.
Feed the swarm.
Best card. Best card.
Chop.
All right, now we're into it.
So
Ryan,
okay,
give me your Commander Legends.
Before I even say my Commander Legends, to me personally, after playing with Commander Legends for what, a month now,
something like that,
sure.
Give or take, yeah.
So yeah, Op Agent, Hull Breacher, format changing, like all your group hug decks are going to have to run removal because obviously you don't want to just sit there and let someone get all these treasures and you can't even draw a single card. Yeah, I'm looking at you, Ryan.
Flat out wrong, like I was talking about earlier today. Opposition Agent and Hull Breacher should not be in every deck. They're not new staples.
No.
Shouldn't be.
They are new, but I don't think I would classify them as staples. But I'm saying they are format changing in that if you know that someone's running those colors, you're going to have to think about how you play things. So, like, a group hug deck is going to have that removal to remove a Hull Breacher to enable the draw for people, right? That's me.
Again, if you're playing, no, 1 second, Brian.
No.
No, 1 second. If you're playing Hull Breacher into a group hug deck, you are not playing at the right power level.
No. I'm saying, well, yes. Okay, I will agree with you at that point.
Unless you're playing Angus Mackenzie.
My personal, I was happy about is that there was a lot of really awesome reprints with like the white enchantment removal, names blanking.
Return to Dust.
Yeah, that one. But say the Kodama the East Tree, huge.
Oh, Kodama's dope.
That's a very good card.
Amazing card. I'm going to say my second one is just because it's a Lord, the Bio-Waste Ooze. Bringing Ooze, an actual Lord, and making it a potential real tribal deck that you're able to play.
Slurk.
Did
And 2...
somebody say Slurk?
Yeah.
I did. That's the actual, your commander for that deck, for sure.
Oh, yeah, buddy.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's an Ooze tribal. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you don't have a Ooze Lord otherwise.
And I guess I'm just looking through this, like kind of scrolling through these cards. I'd have to say like 3 for mine would have to be just the reprint of a lot of these cards, like Vampiric Tutor.
More?
Yeah, like having Vampiric Tutor and Mana Drain come out as another reprint to make it more available to myself is amazing. There's just way too many cards. Way too many cards.
Zach?
All right. I know I'm going to do everyone in the Abzan tribe a disservice by not saying Kalfanor. Because this card I honestly think is just my favorite card printed this year. And that's Sakashima of 1,000 Faces.
That card does enable crazy stuff.
Yeah,
as much as I love Brash Tonner and Fiery Emancipation, Sakashima 1,000 Faces, like I've put it in so many decks. I've traded for so many versions of this card. I'm sorry, so many like copies of this card because it does what I love doing. I get clones. I get to remove the legend rule, which means I can do more clones of more stupid stuff. I have Grixis Goblin deck that at any given time I could have 6 Vial Smashers on the field.
True.
Seems cool.
Get it.
So yes, I'm not even gonna name other cards because just Sakashima 1,000 Faces.
You just like Sakashima that much?
Sakashima is ridiculous. Like, okay, so at our RLGLs we do a commander league, and then at the end of the league season we do like a hockey style draft.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, I'll take Sakashima and Helma the host.
Yep.
And everyone's just gonna be cool with this. Sick.
Like I mean, I could keep naming other cards, but honestly, like
Why?
Because Sakashima
is all of them.
Like, so,
this is our deck.
Yes. Yeah. Sakashima, 100%.
Ryan.
Well, Sakashima was on my list, but thank you, Zach, for mentioning it. But my first will be Arkelos.
Of course.
Pretty dope.
I love the card. It's crazy. I also love Tevesh Zot, Doom of Fools. Having played this card, it is absurd.
Like, his built-in protection is so cool.
Yeah.
If your opponents cannot answer him, and I've got a deck built with him and Sakashima as the general, and I've played several games with it, and generally Tevesh comes down, protects himself, and I just draw 3 cards for the rest of the game until I take everybody's commanders. And generally,
so brutal.
Generally, I use Sakashima and copy him. Ooh. So that I'm doing it twice, and then which one are you going to... Like, I'll make 2 tokens to plus it up, and then I'll just keep drawing cards.
Planeswalker's so nice, you make it twice.
Yeah. It is so good. And then my third card is aptly named 3 Visits.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
3 Visits was a really good reprint.
Yeah. I'm kind of a ramp fanatic, and having another 2-mana ramp spell is...
Toy.
And, it's probably a $2 card now versus a $180 card.
Especially that it calls out Forest specifically.
Yep. It's so good.
Oh, yeah.
Another one of my favorites that I forgot to mention. Sorry, there's 3. Obviously Bandragon.
Amareth. Oh yeah.
Amareth, yeah.
Oh duh. Love it. You wanna talk about Bandragon? We have a sweet episode about Bandragon. So check it out.
Listen to it.
Yeah.
We do have a sweet set of it. My favorites are, I don't know, strange ones. I really, really like Blade Griff Prototype. I think that was one of the coolest political tools, and that's what Commander really should be about, is making those. All right, you'll take the 3 damage, but what do you want to get rid of? It doesn't affect you poorly. I just love that card. It can slot into any deck as an interesting form of removal, especially for colors that don't have it, like a black deck that until Feed the Swarm couldn't deal with an enchantment. I really, really thought that those were good. I honestly liked all of the Court Cycle. I'm not even going to name any of them.
They're all cool.
Any of them.
Quarter Bounty.
Yeah, for me, Jen was just like such a cool card. Like, I really, really like how that commander plays. I really like the whole sacrificing enchantments and bringing them back, especially with the sagas. I just thought that was like such a very, very fun. And I wasn't as excited about it on release until I built it. I built it in tiny liters, and it is just a blast. It's so fun to play.
I think you're like the complete opposite to me, because I like playing Gen as like actual commander, and I'm like, meh. Like, maybe tiny leaders might be a lot more fun. I'd have to take a look at your deck list and everything like that.
Oh, it is a blast. It's so cool. Fun. And then flat out, honestly, I really like Commander's Plate. I really think it's a cool card. I love things that let you equip your commander. Like, I really, really like Black Blade Reforged is another example.
Yep.
But just the built-in protection from the things in not your commander identity. 3/3. It's just a really cool one. And then I'm breaking my own rule because Rograk is the greatest.
Yeah, I think that everybody knows that.
Yeah.
I did want to mention one more card.
Break the rule with me, Zach.
Not for Commander's sake, but another, like I said, since I've been in quarantine, I've like gotten back into playing Pauper and building Pauper decks. Fall from Favor is so powerful in Pauper. If you don't know, it's 2 and a blue enchantment or enchant creature. When Fall from Favor enters the battlefield, tap enchanted creature and you become the monarch. Enchanted creature does not untap during its controller's untap step unless that player is the monarch. This removal is super good. Even in Commander, this is still amazing because you deal with a creature and then you're the monarch. Like 1v1, like I said, Pauper, this is very, very powerful. But even just elsewhere, this is a new card, and it being at common, I was super excited about it. The more I've been getting into other formats and just like browsing things, it's made me like really relook at some of these cards. So this was another one that I'm super into.
Did any of us actually mention Keeper of the Accord, like breaking the pipe?
Oh, Keeper of the Accord, I do actually think is one of my another favorite ones. There's so many. That's the problem with trying to choose just 3. But again, we just went over Commander Legends. There's so much from it. I do want to say one thing. I have not talked with anyone here about this, but I believe it's a universal thought. The foils, the etch foils, are the best foiling process they've ever done.
Yeah, 100%.
Hate foils.
Mm-hmm.
And I love edged foils.
Oh,
If that is the only way that they did foiling from now on, I would be over the ding dang moon.
I hope that that's how they like go. First off, the etched foils the frame is great. The look of it is great. All of the ones that they reprinted are great. I thought it was weird that they didn't do one of each of the patterns.
The fact that
all
doesn't
the different
Pringle
color combos.
Yeah, but the etched foils have been just a godsend in what they bring look wise. Pictures don't do them justice. That's the only thing and stuff. Like they're really, really good.
Beautiful.
Yeah, they don't look great in pictures, but just every one of them, the uncommon commanders to like the mythics, like Thrasios and Timna, are just beautiful cards. The Sakashima one, beautiful. Like they are just wonderful looking cards.
Yep.
I hope that they continue it going forward because I have not seen better looking foiling ever. There's no foiling process in Magic that is ever compared to it.
And
it's unreal.
To compound onto that, the secondary market, the etched foils are typically much cheaper than a normal foil version or close to the normal price of the card itself because how the collector boosters were bought and how they were supplied. Like,
well, it's not even that. Commander players are just animals.
Well,
we cracked so much.
But
That's
well,
true.
and in addition to the quantity, it was just that you're guaranteed so many, so the market got super flooded.
What?
And like it just never, like it didn't become an issue
Yet.
We could get what, 3 a pack, was it, or 4?
3.
I thought we were guaranteed 3.
3. No, up to 3 because you might also get an extended planeswalker.
So I just love that. Like I agree, and it's just another thing that's been good for the secondary market. While Wizards says they don't acknowledge the secondary market, it seems like there's been a lot of moves where recently I feel like it's been easier to obtain cards.
Yeah, listen, the cheaper the game is to play, the more people can play it. That's just a fact of life.
100%.
They've done it, and they've done a good job with. Granted, COVID has made things more complicated to get our hands on stuff like Jumpstart, and Commander Legends was kind of scary at first, but like with how they've done Commander Legends, being able to get whatever we want, basically the new way that they're doing like the small commander decks, like that is amazing. I have so many, like I can just go out and buy a deck if I want to just play with new people or play with a new play group that I'm unsure of power level wise. I can literally spend $30, get a deck and sleeve it up and go play with people. Like I want that to continue on. Like I just love that.
But yeah, we wanted to go, I guess, strongest, but I guess we didn't really do that. We kind of just did the year in a review, like as far as cards go. Let us know, is there some really great cards that you saw? We definitely didn't touch on many commons and uncommons because there's just so much. This was a lot of product. A lot of people were talking product fatigue. I actually liked it. You didn't have to buy every set. Like I said, I put 0 into Double Masters. I don't even think I bought a pack of Double Masters. That's not true. I bought the box topper Urza's, but I didn't buy any packs. Like I just.
So Dan, and well, really the rest of you guys, the question I have for you, this year was, Gavin Verhey said this year was supposed to be the year of the Commander. How do you guys feel? Do you feel like this was the year of the Commander? Do you feel like we were really treated how we were supposed to be and we were really represented?
I felt like every set was a gift. I felt like every set was like a love letter to Commander players. They're just like, we get it. Here you go, guys. And I'm like, thanks, y'all.
It's very cool to see a not their format get so much of their attention because it's just so popular. Because Commander is just kind of the universal. When you say you play Magic, there's one nice universal set of rules. It's not, is this modern? Is it historic? It's just, this is a Commander deck. I'm going to sit down and play it. I think a lot of people can just really get into that, just come together, play with your buddies. There's so many different power levels and different ways to play the game. But yeah,
I would say, and I don't generally complain too much about sets. My only kind of complaint about this year is I honestly think it's too much. And I'm happy that we got everything. I mean, I could not be happier, but I think it just seemed like I would buy a box or 2 boxes and then pick up the singles, and then I'm like, oh crap, there's another set, and then I would buy it, and there's another set. It just didn't stop.
I think my only complaint on top of yours was the fact that the Wizards distribution. I know there's a pandemic. I understand that that were the virus and all these things and everything. Yeah, exactly. But the fact that Mr. Noodles get shipped worldwide. I would
I'll tell you,
assume
Brian,
that cards would be able to be shipped a lot
So
easier than Mr. Noodles or other
I feel like they're
daily
not a
needed.
priority.
Exactly.
Well, the difference with Mr. Noodles is there's a lot of Mr. Noodles plants, and there is not a lot of like Magic doesn't really have a lot of places
There's
the
like
cards come from.
2 or 3 places.
So
It
if
comes
one,
from-
you know, if
all
one
of the
person
cards
gets,
are printed from Cardamundi.
you know, like one person gets COVID, it shuts the whole factory down, and then it's kind of like a boo-hoo, our cards aren't on time thing.
Yeah, I guess
Although-
I'm the dick here.
No. Although I will say,
Well, yeah.
although I will say, what they did with the ship times on the secret layers is borderline criminal.
Although I will also say, as a side note, the Extra Life one isn't supposed to come until like late February. Mine's already shipped, so I'm like, they're getting back to normal.
Yeah, they might be
Wow.
getting back to normal, but I bought the summer secret drop and I got it in like the end of October.
It snowed.
Yeah, I got
So-
like my fall super drop.
Brian, not to go too far down the rabbit hole with the COVID thing, but I work in the automobile industry and supply chains. So when you think like your cards don't arrive in time, so they have to get paper and ink and packaging material and plastic all to the factory. And the factories that produce them have to get all their raw materials to produce them to send to the factory.
Yep.
Then you have to deal with the shipping to the factory, and then the factory has to print it, and then that factory has to ship it. And it
Oh,
has to be-
buddy, I understand supply chain.
So-
I understand
I
supply
understand.
chain.
But so you get one single hiccup in that supply chain, and it could slow production down by 6 weeks.
Well,
So I
sounds
really
like
and
they
truly
got to
do
get their
think-
thumb out of there.
I really and truly do think that they did a pretty good job, all things considered, with
Ah.
everything going on.
I've noticed
Nah, I'm the
Yeah,
opposite.
you're wrong.
I'm
I
the
would-
Brian is
opposite.
wrong.
No, this is partially drunk Brian.
No, this is drunk Brian.
Nah.
But I would flat out say that I think that this was a good year for Commander players in
Yes,
general. Like
I will agree with that.
especially how bad it could have been with the lack of the gathering part. I think that we all got a lot. I think that especially with the invention of Spell Table and the online community coming together, I do think it overall was really, really positive.
Like I'll flat out, this was my year that I got back in, and I couldn't have been happier. It's like so exciting to be back.
I definitely think this year was the year of Commander. I feel like we were treated pretty well. So at first I was really feeling product fatigue and was like really upset because I was like, man, I want to buy everything and I should be able to buy everything, but I can't afford it. And honestly, that just taught me how to just be patient. Like, well, not even budget, just be patient in general. Like, do I really need to get a box of Double Masters? I literally had 6 friends open boxes and give me these boxes back here. I didn't open these. They gave me all their leftovers. I literally had friends just get the mythics and give me everything else.
Hey,
sounds like I need friends like you, Zach.
You got a bit of brown there, Zach.
But what I'm saying is like, yes, I wish I could have bought stuff at the very beginning, but how prices adjusted and how easy it was to get these cards on the secondary market and how much cheaper they became, it definitely taught me that even though we are getting so much product so frequently, it doesn't necessarily mean that like I need to get them now, because I mean, it's true. All my stuff became so much cheaper. Like I could buy everything that I wanted for less than a box from a set that I wanted.
Yeah, the price definitely dropped on a lot of cards.
Guys, we could definitely go on for hours, but we're gonna wrap this one. We've been really going for a while.
Yeah. So
thank you so much, everyone, for listening. Hope, where can they find our stuff?
You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter.
Slow it down.
Instagram, Facebook, Twitter.
Not that slow. Check out our streams, guys.
YouTube, our streams every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, 5 p.m. 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. We also post our podcast every Sunday. If you're listening to it, you probably already know that. We also have our Patreon if you would like to support us that way. We also have some sweet merch if you want to check that out. So anyways, guys, thank you for tuning in. Reach out to us and let us know what your favorite cards from the last year was, and we look forward to hearing from you. Bye.
See ya.